Oh, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
So you're a bit busy at the moment.
Yeah, it's been mega busy. It's actually slowly starting to cool down a little bit, but the last 4 months it's just been flat out lambing.
But obviously, when did you do SAS?
Oh, well, I did it in September, October.
But it came out.
It came out in January.
All right, yeah. Because I've been trying to watch it, but I've only up to the second last episode.
Oh, no
He's
way.
kind of filled me in. But
Oh, yeah.
I thought you got a bit of a raw deal. You were hardly in it.
No, well, I wasn't.
There was a couple of times when you would go, and then it would just cut to somebody.
Yeah, it was either my story wasn't dramatic enough, or I didn't do like I just didn't.
You were
mess
just in
up
the middle.
enough. I just kind of kept my head down.
You
and
just
kept,
got
like,
on with
going
it.
on.
And you're like, oh, she's done that one. Well done. And
Yeah.
then obviously, I guess the interrogation. That's when things change. But I haven't got that far yet.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, that's when I had my moment a little bit more to
Yeah.
kind of like show it. But no, it did. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so hard, but it was so good.
How did that whole thing come about then?
My boyfriend's was an ex-Royal Marine.
Right.
So I just kind of wanted to know what he'd been through and put myself in his shoes for a bit, because I've no idea about the military life at all. So that, and I wanted to challenge.
Because did you already do CrossFit before that?
Yeah. So I did like a competition called Tribal Clash in Portugal. It's a team of 6, 3 girls, 3 boys. We did it again, just last week.
Yeah.
So that was what initially started the whole thing. Did really well in there, and then I just like wanted that kind of like feeling again of like
Being
really
pushed.
pushing yourself, out of your comfort zone and like seeing what happens, because like amazing things happen when you're not in that comfort
Well, you
zone.
learn as well, don't you?
Yeah, completely, and you learn so much about yourself.
So
yeah.
did you just like fill in an online thing and then?
Yeah, so I didn't realise that girls could go on. It's the first time this year.
Yeah.
So
you just applied anyway without even knowing that?
No, so I just came across it randomly 3 days before the deadline finished. And I was like, yes, this is amazing. So I like filled it all in, and it was super. It took me like 3 days because it was so.
I can imagine it would be extensive.
Yeah, and like very deep questions like, what's your biggest fear? What's your biggest regret in life? What's made you go on the show? And so it took ages. I didn't want to mess it up, but then maybe an idiot, sent it to the wrong place. So I was like,
oh no.
Oh, so I didn't hear anything. And I was like, oh, that's a bit crap, innit? So it came to middle of August, got home from holiday, and then I was like, rang them. I just thought, I was like, have you got my application? They're like, oh, no. And I looked. I was like, oh, I'm really sorry, I sent it to the wrong place. And then they were like, oh, well, we've like picked everyone pretty much. We're finalising it on Friday. And it's like a Wednesday. So I went to the gym, just did like a workout. I thought, I'll forget about it. And then they emailed me and said, can you do a Skype interview tomorrow? So I was like, oh my God.
Someone must have dropped out.
So I don't know what happened. So did a Skype interview, went to a board that day, and then they were like, we want her on. And then I had to go literally do like a physical test, a psychological test, a CPAP test, and then
what were they
injections. Definitely not as bad as the show. Definitely not as bad. It was like bleep test, so you had to get 10.1, 44.
That must have been the easy bit for you.
I got 11.5 on that, so it was okay. And then press ups was 44 in 2 minutes, and sit ups was 52 in 2 minutes, and then a bit of like a farmer carry walk and all sorts of things like that. So yeah, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, it wasn't easy either.
So how long after that did you get word that you were on?
I literally, so then it kept going for a little while. They sent me some boots to break in, and then I didn't find out officially that I was going until a week before.
Oh my God.
Well, like 8 days. They rang me on the Friday and they were like, you'll meet us at Heathrow Airport a week tomorrow.
How long were you going to be away for?
It depends how long you lasted.
Potentially, if you what?
2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
You like have to like reorganize some of your stuff.
Yeah.
And go,
Yeah. I know. Thankfully, I was working for like one person at a time. Didn't have too many contracts stuff going on, and my own farm, so it wasn't too bad.
Right.
But yeah, it was good though, because it didn't give me too much time to worry or panic, because I was
That's true. You thought
I was going
overthinking it, and then sort of talk yourself out of it. By
yeah,
the time
exactly. And they didn't tell us like where we were going or anything, so you literally got the airport. Yeah, and we just found out then that we were going to Chile, and I was like, oh my God, holy cow, this is ridiculous.
So how hard actually was it then, looking back?
Yeah, no, it was ridiculous.
It's probably the most difficult thing you've ever done.
Ever. Like, not just like physically, mentally. Like,
yeah. Probably just as bad, the mental stuff.
Worse, I think. Worse, because you had to learn so much to control your own head, because there's so many times that I literally just wanted to like curl up in a ball and die, because it was that bad. But you don't really see it like on the telly. It's hard for them to get across like the anxiety levels that you have on there.
This was the thing that I thought, because there's only 6 episodes, and I'm on the penultimate one. They could have made it 8 or 10.
Oh yeah,
it's
much.
Typical of TV that they end up cutting out probably a lot of good content.
Yeah.
That helps get the story across more.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So like they didn't include like half the stuff we did really. Like what the people don't even see is like we get everything taken off us to the point where I had like one set of knickers and bra the whole time.
Oh my God.
I had no shower, no hot water. We actually had like a flannel and a bar soap and a toothbrush.
But these are the conditions.
But yeah, that was the thing, and it just took you all back to like complete like raw. And like that's who you were, and that's all it was. And like no hairbrush. My hair was like a complete dreadlock.
Well,
by the time
I think you had it tied up.
I had to braid it. I literally was the only way that it was going to manage if I had braided it and like left it there. Literally.
So was there any sort of conditions where they said you have to do this, you can't do this, or?
In terms of what do you mean?
I don't know. I just thought, did they give you sort of ground rules before when you got there?
Oh, I mean, what the whole thing's just all ground rules, like to the point where you couldn't even like. To go from the accommodation where we slept to the toilet, which is outside in this little.
Oh, you had to go in your. I thought when you had to go in your pairs.
And we had to run. If they caught
everywhere you had to run. Everywhere it seemed.
Honestly, if they caught you not running, it was a nightmare. Like they get you beasting you around the bloody yard again. There was all sorts of stupid rules, and everybody had to walk out the accommodation dressed the same. So. Every time you left the door, everyone was going hats on or hats off, and everyone would be like different. And
the last episode I watched, you were always at the door first.
Oh, I made sure I was so this is the thing. Like in life, I am never, ever, ever on time ever. But I was like, when I got there, I was like, no, I'm gonna get outside. Yeah. I'm gonna be there. I
suppose, but being a farmer, you have to be a morning person, don't you?
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Did you used to not be a morning person?
I've never needed that much sleep.
Right.
But I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily a massive, massive morning person.
Right.
I mean, like I couldn't do the dairy farming times all the time.
No.
So
what was the worst challenge for you, or the worst part of it?
Interrogation was the absolute worst. Right. So it was like 20 hours of that.
20 hours.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And it was just the stress positions look like nothing. Like, and I thought like before I even went, it's not that bad. Like you're just holding your arms out in front of you, but like they starve you, and like 24 hours before you don't sleep for about 24 hours before you go in. They catch you on this mission, so you've got this massive adrenaline rush like going on. So I literally got like rugby tackled from the side, and I was like, what? I was like, what's I in the pitch black at like 2 a.m. and I was like, oh my God, this is insane. And it's the only time that I couldn't really like justify, like try and tell myself that I wasn't in a TV show. Like
seemed real then.
It felt so real. Like it just took like control of your whole head. Like it was numb. Yeah. By the time I came out, I was numb with the noises that they play in your ears. Like so, you had like these things like this on with your mask and that, and it would just be like white noise, so it'd just be like constant one tone, and
that is a test
honestly
of mental toughness. That.
Yeah, and every time like you came out your stress positions, they'd like just come behind you, dig the knee into you, or tap like a pen on your goggles, and
trying to make you angry and like snap and react.
Just trying to make you absolutely break into pieces. Yeah,
it's, sleep deprivation is a big thing that they use in all wars, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
it's simple but so effective.
Oh yeah,
because you can't.
Yeah, I mean that's where I was maybe a little bit okay, because I've never had needed that much sleep, but that was on a different level. Because
if you do it a lot, it can be dangerous.
Yeah,
like you can die from it.
I know. Well, for the real SAS section, they do 36 hours in there, so I mean, like that's nearly double what I did. So
wow,
they're unreal.
And I saw that guy who when you were. Dropping down off the bridge, and that guy hit his backside.
Yeah. Oh. Well, James is one to hit himself. Yeah. No, that was saw that.
And that guy was gutted that he
I know. Rick's so lovely as well. Like, and he took it so like personally to heart, and it was absolutely awful for like a few hours after.
That was part of the. Not I was going to say the more real parts of the program where you got to start hearing people's stories of why they were there. Yeah. Like the guy lost his wife and stuff. Yeah, we didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, he was lovely. So we didn't know anything about that.
No, but did you know any? I suppose when you got there, that was the first time you meeting anyone.
Yeah, that's the first time I met anybody that was there, and like a lot of people didn't really say that much about their stories. So like Marc never said anything.
Yeah.
So until I came out, I didn't even realise anything.
Right.
And you would never know because he's such a genuinely humble, lovely guy, and he put everybody else before himself.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
So were you watching it when it was aired on TV, going, "Oh, I didn't know that"?
Yeah, honestly, like some of the things that you were hearing, I was hearing at the first, and it was so weird. Yeah. But I was like on edge watching it. Like I had like two gins next to me the whole time, and I was like full on sweating watching it, like absolutely. I was like, oh my god! It was bringing back so many memories. Yeah. And I was like,
it's been about what 5-6 months before when you did it to when you actually got to watch it.
Yeah, 4 months I think it'll be. And it was the hardest thing was coming back home. And then not really being able to talk to anybody about it either.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we were under this oath that we couldn't tell anyone.
You sound like an NDA, like a non-disclosure agreement sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you couldn't say anything until it got like announced on TV.
Yeah. And I couldn't even say anything like when the advert came on. It was just like everyone was like, "Are you
like,
in the advert?" And I'm like,
"Someone looks just like you. I've just seen on TV. Just like you. Have a look."
Exactly. And I was like, "Oh, this is so weird." But,
so what did you finally do? Did you just go on social media and go, "It's me"?
Yeah. Well, in the end, we had a social media page, and we just kind of like we all started put it on. We put it on at the same time on our page to say that we were on it and we'd done it, and yeah, we started picking up a little bit of like a storm behind it then.
Did you get you a lot of followers on social media in general?
Yeah, I already had quite a lot on Twitter anyway. I think Twitter I was already on like something like 16.
Yeah, Twitter seems to be your most popular one.
Yeah, it's because farming is very big on there.
Right.
With the farmers and with people that want to follow farming, so it's kind of always done really well on there. My Instagram flew up loads. I was only on like 2,000.
Yeah, well, I only followed you a few weeks ago. You were on 14,000. Now you're on over 15,000.
Yeah, just hit 15 this
like,
weekend. I know, it's weird. It's like random things happen though, and it just like it goes really fast and then it'll slow down.
I think it's because of all your stories that you put out, because you constantly like Instagramming all day on your thing with your dog.
Yeah, I know, like all the farmers I work for, like, are you doing that again? And I'm like, I'm just showing people a little glimpse of what's going on.
But I like the one that you did today about just being able to just go,
oh
Jesus
yeah
Christ.
I know. Since I've had the busiest so lambing finished maybe 2 weeks ago, and the
you
last.
need to explain to some people some people won't have a clue what you're talking about.
What about lambing time?
Yeah, or even what lambing is.
Oh, lambing is when you're you're being like a little sheep midwife, basically, helping all the lambs be born. So I've been doing like 4 months of that. So probably like over 5,000 sheep have been lambing while I've been working.
Jesus.
So I finally finished 2 weeks ago, and it's like 16-hour days, and it's stupidly knackering. Again, that's probably why SES worked quite well, because you're just so used to like slogging
being
it all
tired
day.
just doing stuff all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, and then the last 10 days just been like insanely busy of random things, from like the Tribal Clash the fitness competition, and then straight down to London for some meetings, and then straight to Birmingham for Body Power. Like,
so what is what Body Power? Is that related to SOS?
So it's the SES, one of the guys at Special Forces guys, Ollie, it's his company, right. Which he basically does like a little bit of like a civvy version of the show in 2 days. So if you want to go and get beasted and try like the interrogation process, then
basically want to try it.
Yeah, right. Then go there, because it's brilliant.
I bet that's very popular.
Yeah, he's just
especially
started
after the
that
show.
one. Yeah,
especially
exactly.
After the show.
Yeah, and then he does like different other courses. Like some of them are like more about like learning how to kind of harness your fears, and like it's more kind of, it builds you as a person, more like that. So
they mentioned some of that on the show.
Yeah,
about you use your fear as a good thing, really.
Yeah, it's kind of, you've just got to flip it on its head, really, and just kind of go with it like that, and not kind of let the fear take over every kind of rational thought that you actually have. And if you can do that, then you can do so well in it.
Yeah, because if you can make rational decisions under extreme circumstances, that's pretty much the aim of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to be doing in Special Forces. And
so what was some of the other cast members there, the other contestants?
So there was...
And what were you guys there for? Just to be part of it?
Just to be part of it, yeah, just to kind of... Some of us do a little bit at breakpoint at the events anyway. And then it was just kind of, meet people, talk to people, get them in to have a go. We had like a big abseiling thing and a course, and so it was really popular. It was so busy.
So the weekend before that, what was the Ibiza thing?
So that was Portugal, and it was in Tribal Clash.
Was that like a CrossFit type thing?
Yeah, it's a bit like a CrossFit competition on the beach, like this badass competition on the beach with like 3 men, 3 women, and it's anything from like running, swimming, flipping tires, climbing up ropes,
I looked at the page and I just thought, it's hard anyway, but it looks boiling hot.
Oh my! It was hot.
That's like wipe you out. Just like,
I know, the heat alone is like literally, it kills you. Especially when you're not used to it. Especially in Cumbria, we never really get that much heat, do we?
Like from here to there.
I know, and literally, I came back and I was I was working on a farm the day after, and it was full on, like pissing it down, and I was freezing. I was like, "You joking? I've left Portugal,
I know,
like loving life on the beach, like this fitness stuff that I love, and now I'm running around after sheep in the freezing cold."
So this whole farming thing is.
Yeah.
How old are you?
26.
So it's fairly new.
Yeah.
To you.
It'll be 6 years this summer that I started, and then that I moved up to Cumbria.
Because you're not from here. You're not originally a farmer. Are you from a farming background?
No, nothing.
So that makes it even more weird, strange.
Yeah, no. Everyone's like, "Why do you want to be a farmer?" I'm like, no.
How did this start?
Grew up on the Wirral, which is near Liverpool.
Yeah.
Hence the kind of little bit of Scouse accent, tiny bit.
Yeah.
And I grew up like absolutely loving animals since I was literally like this big. I was like named like Dr. Dolittle of the family. Like no animal was safe if I was around because I was like there like come and sit with me.
Yeah.
Always loved animals. I did always kind of wanted to go into like marine mammal stuff. So I'd been to uni, did a degree in animal behaviour at Liverpool. And then I went to Canada for 6 weeks and worked with killer whales in the wild, studying them. And that was literally like me in a tent and then 5 other people of their tent. And it was a little tiny island with no electricity, no running water. No one else lived there apart from like bears and cougars and big scary animals. And
that sounds like fun.
Oh my God, no, it was amazing. Literally one of the best things ever. And then we just like, so we studied the killer whales basically and the effect that the boat traffic was having on their behaviour and how they could feed. And they've got like this special kind of like stones, and it's the only place in the world where they like rub their bellies on the stones on the bottom, and they treat it like a little spa day.
Right.
And it's literally the only place in the world that the whales do it.
Wow.
So it's like a big kind of reserve. And so I just spent all my day like watching them either on a cliff, did like a hike every day for like an hour up, which was, it's so humid as well. It was like knackering. Or I was on the boat, like on the water with the whales. And then we just sat around a fire every night and just like ate and chatted and listened to and watched whales and dolphins and that. It was epic.
Cool.
So did that, and then I was meant to be starting a degree, master's in marine biology.
Right, makes sense.
Came to Cumbria, like I did every year at Easter.
Like a family holiday type thing.
Yeah. We did it every single year. And then I watched this lamb born outside, I think in Coniston, and then it was sunny for once in Cumbria. And it was literally like right next to the lake and the mountains and everything was in the background. It was like a movie scene, like proper movie scene. And I watched this lamb born and I was like,
just naturally no one helping.
Yeah. And I was just amazed. I was just like, oh my God.
Someone just clicked.
Yeah. And it was like this little light bulb moment. And I was like, this is amazing. Like all I've wanted to do is be outside. I wanted to be hands-on with animals, which you can't really do with the whale stuff, especially in the wild. And on the way home in the car, I just announced to my family that I was going to be a farmer, and they were like, "Oh yeah."
So you were about like 19, 20 or something?
20, just about to turn 21, I think. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to be a farmer, definitely." And then I think they all thought I was being just a little bit of a fad. But then they kind of realised actually I was being deadly serious about it. Mum and Dad were amazing. They were like, "Oh, well, we'll support you for a year and see if you can make anything of it." So I did my masters, and then I know it was for a year. So I thought I'll put it off for the year, and then literally went to Cumbria for a week initially to work with a man called Derek Scrimminger, who was a hill farmer and an international sheepdog trialer in Keswick.
Did you just look him up, or?
Yeah, I just looked. That's it. I literally emailed so many people. I think probably emailed like
give me a job.
I know, like over 50 people I emailed, I think, and I got like 3 responses. So I was like,
but were you wanting to be shepherdess then?
Yeah, right. I was wanting to farm then. Yeah, so. Right. I took my 5-year-old pet border collie that I'd never seen a sheep or bothered. Well, never bothered a sheep in the lakes anyway. But every time we went, and I thought, I'll see if I could take him to be anything. So I went for a week, and then I literally stayed there for 9 months and never went home. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
So learned to farm.
So when you got there, what sort of things were you doing?
Well, I lived in a little caravan in the yard with my dog, and I just started throwing myself into anything that I could do. So, like to start with, it was obviously like the really easy jobs, like sorting the kennels, sorting the dogs out, and then spent a lot of time like watching him and other people like training dogs. So I kind of learned to do that with like the younger ones, and then steadily progressed. And then every time there was sheep work to do or in the pens, I just went and just did it and just kind of got on with it really.
So was sheep always the thing that you wanted to gravitate towards?
Yeah, it just seemed to be that way. Yeah, everything that I did seemed to be these fluffy, woolly little barry things.
Well, I mean, lambs are cute. They're like puppies, aren't they?
Oh, they're so cute.
You always see them like jumping about in the field just for no reason, just jumping about.
Just because they're happy.
But then it's like one day they just get to an age. I'm old now. Don't jump around.
Yeah, no, they don't.
It's like stand there. I'll just eat. And then when they can't be
sensible.
bothered anymore, they go down on the elbows. Have you seen that?
Yeah, and they just graze. Nah, that's it. I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, they're funny to watch though.
Oh, sheep are honestly sometimes they can be so clever and sometimes they can be so stupid. It just depends.
I'm surprised you haven't got like a pet sheep.
Oh, I do. Oh. So when
are you for lambs? I'm having this lamb.
Oh
okay.
No, honestly, you won't even believe it. So like when I got to the first lambing time, so it was in March. So I started in the July, and then so this is the March. Got my first job on a new farm for lambing time to help with all the sheep, and then it was Mother's Day at the same time. So I got my mum 2 orphan lambs for Mother's Day, and they were only like a day old. I know.
But she lives back down Liverpool way.
Oh yeah, so they went So we called them Gunnar and Greta, and I bought them like the milk powder and the milk bottle. They went to the Wirral for like the first couple of months of their life. Like, you used to like bounce around the garden, and used to come in the house on like the couch. And this is like so tiny. It's embarrassing that I actually admit to it on this because everyone can watch it. But like, we still have them to this day, like Gunnar and Greta, and they're called, and they're the
Well, how
the
old does
best
sheep live till on average?
I mean, these two don't really have that much like drama in life, so they'll live for a while.
Right.
But I think like your average commercial sheep will probably be on the farm till about 6 or 7.
Right.
Just depend. It depends on all the different systems.
Quality of life and everything as well.
And yeah. But so Gunnar, what will they be now? 5. But yeah, literally like especially Gunnar doesn't even realise he's a sheep. He just thinks he's a dog. And like the dogs won't bother him.
Does he interact with other dogs?
Oh yeah, I guess with dogs there, he's not bothered. He just chills out, and sometimes he'll like headbutt them, and as soon as people come in, he like runs to the gate and he'll stand up on the top of the gate. And like he runs after
Next to start barking.
I know, honestly, he's not normal.
What kind of dog is this?
Is it a cross?
He's literally just not normal at all. And like his favourite thing to eat is Nature Valley bars and Orange Club biscuits. So every time someone comes around, that's all he gets fed. So God. He's like the size of like an elephant. But he's like the best thing ever. I absolutely adore him. None of my other sheep have got names and they're that friendly, but Gunnar and Greta, they're not normal.
But they're still down south?
Oh no, they're up here.
Oh, they came back.
Yeah,
Right.
They only stayed down there for like the first couple of months and then they came up here.
Ah, right, okay.
So yeah, there's 120 of them all together now though, so there's definitely too many for names.
So once you started doing all the different jobs and you started doing more sheep stuff, then what happened after that?
Yeah, so I just kind of started getting connections and like meeting new people, and farming's quite a small community really, so once you kind of establish like a good relationship with one of them, they kind of pass that message on that you're like decent at what you do and reliable and yeah, so that just kind of built up from there and then spiraled. And I used the social media stuff to kind of get to know different farmers and different systems and learn quite a lot.
You make it look fun, almost.
Yeah, it is fun.
But what was I looking at? When I did some research, in January 2019, the Daily Mail described you as the new face of farming.
Man, they came just with like, I did an interview over like on the phone with them, dead easy. But they came to the photos and they were there for 4 hours doing these photos.
My God.
And it was freezing. And they wanted like SAS style ones, so they wanted me in my t-shirt with the little sheep on my head like this.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
I was like,
thankfully, the one they put on had a jacket on in the end. But honestly, I was like there in this white t-shirt because they wanted it white to be clean, even though they wanted it farming. Honestly, they're so contradictory. I know. And 4 hours we were there in the freeze and got my hands were like ice blue at the end of it. I was like, no. And he's going, oh, how did you survive in Chile? And I was like, I don't know, but this is freezing. So yeah, I've had all sorts. I've been described as, what was the most cringy, horrible one? Flame-haired beauty.
Well, it's cliche.
I nearly, I nearly was sick when I read it. I was like, oh my God, no, this is not the angle that I'm going for, guys.
But like, who was the old face of farming? That's what I want to know. I mean,
no idea.
When I think if someone said, if we say farming, who comes to mind? Like, I can't think of anyone until a few weeks ago. Like, no, it's you.
Yeah, thanks. I'll go with that.
I can't. Other than like,
it's always just
mainstream. Like, what's his face off Country File?
Adam Henson.
No, the Blue Peter guy.
Matt Baker.
Other than that,
yeah,
there's no one who's like famous farmers.
No, I know. But there's like James Rebanks around here who does well, and he's wrote the books. True. But like, you don't see his face very often, though, so no one knows him.
No, that's true. There's no one like celebrity farmer.
No,
there's like celebrity chefs.
Yeah,
celebrity everything. Yeah. Should be. That's what you need to be.
Well, we'll see what happens.
But do you do all aspects of farming?
Mostly just sheep and cows.
Right.
I don't really touch tractors or do arable whatsoever.
Or crops or anything like that.
No. I just like the animals.
Cows, that's another.
Cows
you do all that mucking out and all that bollocks.
No, because I've got Highland cows, so they stay outside. So they're really, really, really
tough as nails.
Yeah, like, in all the snow, they were like, "What?"
You do all the sheep clipping out and all that.
We get people in to do that.
All right, it's a big job. I suppose if you got 120.
Yeah, well, I mean that's nothing in the grand scheme of things.
I suppose
but
so, yeah.
No, my sister's fiance, he shears. So he does it.
Right.
It's quite nice.
Is wool valuable these days or not?
No, not really. Now you're looking at what it takes to actually get the wool off. You near enough just about cover it in the fleece.
So is wool just not very popular?
it's just not being used anymore. Like we've just got so many kind of like modern day like fabrics and materials coming in that, and it's sad.
Like a good woolly jumper.
I know, like the wool is like some of like the best fabric you can use and the best material you can use. Like it's like warm, it's like flame resistant, everything. But we're using like horrible stuff that's like killing the environment all the time.
Yeah, and you got natural wool.
I know, which is they grow it anyway.
Because I mean, it gets in like weather like this, you have to cut it off because it just gets too hot for them anyway.
Yeah, completely. Like,
so that's going to happen anyway.
Yeah, it's welfare.
Like a cruelty thing, is it?
No, we take it off for the welfare. Like if it gets too hot, you find that flies like end up laying eggs in the wool, and then the maggots will literally eat the sheep, and it's absolutely awful. So
I walk in the fells quite a lot, and I've come across a few dead sheep sometimes. It's like, I wonder what happened.
I know. I mean, sheep do really like to die.
Just it's another one.
Yeah, sometimes it's their life ambition is to die though. Like, I'm not joking.
And I was just thinking, I wonder, like, how old was it? What was it doing when it died? What happened? What happened to you?
Give me
like
your life
sheep
history.
CSI.
Give me the whole history of your life. Let's go.
I just wonder sometimes because it's like you feel sad, but
I know. It's just.
I'm guessing I'm thinking. I hope it wasn't like horrible whatever happened to it, or did it just die of old age? Maybe
it could be anything. Yeah,
right.
It could be a dog is chased after it if it's on the fell. Like it could be. There's so many different things it could be. It's just,
So when did you finally just decide on sheep then? When did you because you were working for somebody else obviously when you came up here? Then when did it sort of change for you then?
So they were mostly sheep anyway. So, and then everywhere I went, we're so big with sheep farming up here that it just happened that most of the work that I was getting was sheep, and they're easier to work with.
When you say work, what did the people contract you out to do?
Anything from lambing or going on the fells gathering sheep, and we have to do like standard procedures all the way through the year, like worming, like you do your dog and your cat,
like
and
health side of it.
Yeah, feet and.
So when you get them off the fells, is that like before winter?
Yeah, so we'll gather about 4 or 5 times throughout the year. So they go up and down. So winter they come off, then they go back on now, just after they've had the lambs. Then they'll come off again for shearing time, go back up.
Right.
Then they'll come off again and take the lambs off and wean them.
Right,
Then they go back up. And then they come off again.
Right. So
yeah. So there's loads of different times and reasons that they have to come off the farm.
So I just imagine you going around on a quad with a sheepdog, just going, "Go on."
I mean, I walk. I always get the short straw. But I would so much rather.
Oh yeah, but you're gonna get. You're gonna say so you can walk.
That's the issue. That is the issue. The only thing that like the bad side of the SES is everyone's like, "Well, you've done that now, so you can do whatever." Like I'm like, I've got no excuse now for not doing anything. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, when you're always carrying those, what they call them?
What?
The rucksacks on
SAS. Oh, them Bergens.
Yeah, Jesus.
They were heavy, you know.
One of them said they've weighed them down with an extra 20 pounds of sand or something like that.
Yeah, but they made us weigh sandbags out and put them in the bag to make it heavier. I was like, are you joking?
Oh man, extra labour.
Oh, honestly, I literally was having to like grab it with one arm, put it on a shoulder, and literally like fling my whole body to get it on the other side.
Those ones were like, hold it above your head.
Yeah.
Everyone's like...
Yeah, no. Do you know that for some reason that's the one thing that I could just zone out on them, and I could literally just lock my arms out and go. And I don't know if it's because of the farming things.
You always CrossFit thing.
Yeah, and you're always like carrying heavy random stuff when you're farming and CrossFitting.
Well, sheep on your head sometimes.
Oh yeah, exactly. Or half of a fell. Right, come here. The amount of times I had to carry one down is just ridiculous.
But I mean, those. Like all the time, just every time you're doing something, you seem to be carrying those or pushing. Oh, that one in the water, the freezing cold water.
Oh, that was freezing, and that Vicky nearly drowned me at one point. Oh my word, of my life.
Yeah, so I did see that. You had to go back in.
Yeah,
and she was like taking you down with her.
Yeah, and then she just panicked and like just punked her hand on top of mine. I was like, holy cow! And it was deep.
People, when they had the ventilator, and they panic because it's so cold.
Yeah, and it was so cold. And then it turns out that she had like a swimming accident when she was younger with her sister, and it was kind of pretty much the same situation that happened. Right. So in the end, I think 2 of the other lads also jumped in, and the 3 of us kind of dragged her out together.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, and then Sam had another issue. Like, he was the same. He just panicked in the water.
It's the cold. It just kind of takes over.
Yeah,
and that's what they're trying to teach you. Is to just stay calm.
Yeah, because when we went on that first day, we went in the waterfall and had to stay underneath the shoulders. That was like the first kind of like realization of actually how cold it was. And they were like shouting like, shout your number, shout your name, and you went to shout and like nothing was coming out. I was like, I can't fucking hear you. I was like, oh, I'm trying to shout.
So was there anything that didn't get on the show that you were sort of disappointed that they didn't show?
There was a couple of like little biggest challenge team tasks that didn't get on. Do you know like the accommodation, how it's the like semicircle things?
Yeah.
We had to like get over that as a team of 4, but with no kind of
No ropes
equipment.
or...
No, so you
Just
had to
sort of
literally like ladder it.
supporting each other up.
Yeah, so I had to like ladder it and then try and pull the next one up. There was 1, 2, 3. 3 I had to get over and then I had to get back over them again. And they put them in teams of like 4. And
They're quite big.
they were big. We had 3 people stood on each shoulders at one point. Poor Marc was at the bottom of our team, and like I was on top of his shoulders, and I was like, I am absolutely squishing him to death. I was like, felt so bad for him. But no, they did put everything on. They just sometimes it was
edited.
Yeah, it was just shortened so much that it was hard to kind of show you guys the extent of how long the stuff actually went on for.
Yeah, I do think about things like that when I watch, especially a lot of like reality, normal reality,
Yeah.
not that, but you know, reality TV where it's like edited and
Yeah.
it's like it does affect the overall product.
Oh yeah, because I'd watched it like all the time before, and I was so obsessed with it. And I was like, do you know what? It'll be absolutely solid, but you can manage it. And then I got there, and I was like, you have no idea like how much you actually do. It's like the beastings in like in the middle of the night, like they come and wake you up, or we had to do like a guard cover overnight every night. They never showed any of that.
So someone had to be take turns
Sitting outside in the snow under this little canopy for an hour each night, like so. And then
you go for an hour, and then somebody else would go.
Yeah. So even when you weren't out, you were worrying like no one would wake you up to go out. Yeah, and then you were having to like you come back in, and then you'd be worried that they were going to come and smash through the door at any time, and it was just constantly on your toes. Like you would never get more than like 3-4 hours sleep max every night.
Wow.
So
which for you wasn't that big a deal.
I mean, yeah. In the end, I was like literally trying to like even on the wagons, and it was so bumpy. I was like this trying to sleep.
I'm trying to not fall. Does it not have a go at you if you're falling asleep?
Well, thankfully they're not in there and they can't really see at this point.
Right.
But so that's the kind of time you can kind of talk and be like, oh my god, that was ridiculous. So, but in the end, I think by the time we got to the end, everyone would literally just go to sleep in there because it was so tiring.
But it's a shame that they just had to cut it so much.
I know they should make it longer.
Television.
I know they
so
should.
Much more. It would show that not just you guys, but the process overall in a better light if they could show it the extent of things more.
Yeah, completely.
And get into people's stories more because I felt, especially the first couple of episodes, you were just being shown so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like then you'd sort of meet one person, and then you go to another task, and you meet another person. It's just there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it was hard to get to know everyone, wasn't it? And because there was 25 people there, and like trying to get everybody, it's just a nightmare.
And people just getting cold.
They were going
quickly, just faster as it went on.
Yeah, I know. So we were all quite stubborn, really. No one would really withdraw that. Well, there won't be that many that withdraw. Maybe 3 or 4 people. The rest were like all called out.
And then they got to the bit of who do you trust the least?
Yeah.
Who did you say? Did they ask you that?
Yeah. That's on the telly that. Tracy. So I had a little panic then, the one with the teardrop.
Oh, right, yeah.
So this day, I had a little panic. So who do you trust the least, or who do you think's? I was like, oh no, who do you think? He literally said to me, he like got behind my ear and there, and he went, who do you? Can you swear on this?
Yes.
Can you? Yeah.
That's fine.
He's like, who do you think is the biggest shit cunt in here? And I was like, and he was there like this devil behind me, and I was like, oh my god! And I was looking at everyone like, you're joking? Like, why did you have to change the words for mine? So then I said Tracy, and then we got to the boxing bit that night. And,
you weren't on that.
No, well, I did do it.
Everyone did it, but they only showed like 3 or 4 people.
But I thought she's a bit of a semi-pro boxer, and I thought, oh my word, she's like pick me and like smash my face in. Like, and I've never thrown a punch before, never had a fight before, like proper lover, not a fighter kind of person. And it's the one thing that I dreaded more than anything. Like, give me a bridge to jump off any day, and I would have jumped off it like 20 times, backwards, forwards, flip, whatever. Yeah. But when it got to the boxing, I absolutely just lost it a little bit in my head for the first time. And I thought she was going to pick me, but thankfully she'd fell out with somebody else, I think. and then she didn't pick me because I was like, oh my god.
So who did you end up fighting?
Esme. She was like the small blonde girl with the curly hair.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, which is hard because we were both like really good mates. She's probably the one I got on best with most in there.
They're telling you, you've got to go for it.
Yeah, and I like Foxy was putting my like thing on him, a stupid rubbish mouth guard, and I was like, I can't do this. And he went, you just got to go and just smash it. I was like, I can't smash her in the face. Oh my god.
Well, every time you get to a situation like that, you either do it or you hand us your armband.
Exactly.
So
you had no choice. You just had to do it. And then I hit her in the face, and I just remember hit her in the face going, oh my god, just hit her in the face. Like, what's happening? And then that night they called me into the mirror room for the first time. Then I thought, oh, hellfire, I've blown it again. And they're like, we don't think you gave it 110%. I was like, well, if you gave me a stranger to fight, then I probably would have smacked them a lot harder, yeah. But like we spent the whole time like literally trying to like be busy mates, and like you keep telling us we have to look out for each other and like be best friends, and then all of a sudden you want us to punch you in the face, like, which do you want us to do? So they were quite understanding of it, but I mean, yeah, that was the worst thing underneath interrogation.
Because that's probably because of my part that's least you.
Yeah, so not me. I just like I got these boxing gloves on, and literally all I was thinking in my head was I should have got Mike to punch me in the face before my boyfriend. So I should have just gone to punch me in the face. Yeah. I
need to know what it feels like.
I know. I was like, he's done this all the time. I was like, if I knew what it felt like and what I was expecting, I think.
Did she hit you?
Did Esme?
Yeah. Did she hit you?
Yeah.
Were you both just going?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and that's probably why they didn't put it on telly, because it probably looked shit. It's literally just like both our eyes closed, like I can't see.
It's like when people find those little bags.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's probably embarrassing to the special forces world.
Do you just do that whole thing and then come home and just sort of forget about it for a while?
Yeah, it was very hard coming home. Like it was super hard to adjust. I was like, I'd gone from like really, really loving my life and my job and what I did, and then all of a sudden I came home to like a little bit of a...
It's like rocked you, hasn't it?
Yeah. So I was like, you've gone from being on such high adrenaline all the time and low and highs and low and highs, and then buzzing that you came out and you got so far. And then I got home and I was like, now what? You were like waiting for someone to smash the door. You were like...
Someone's going to call you and say like, doing this now.
Yeah, I was just like, what am I going to do? I was like, I was going around my sheep and I was like, I want to jump off something. I want to do something. So it took a long time to like adjust back into it, really.
So where did you tell people that you'd gone for 2 weeks?
I mean, some people.
Right, okay.
Not that many.
Some people just haven't got on holiday.
Yeah, my mom ran my Twitter account for me the whole time, because I thought, well, 15,000 people will be like, well, where the hell's she gone for 2 weeks? Yeah, I never go off it. I always at least post like a picture or something every day.
So did you line up some pictures in advance?
Yeah, literally I said, right, Mum, here's the pictures. I was like, do not like go off these pictures. Do not argue with anybody. Do not talk to vegans. Or promote like.
Do you normally interact with people who comment on stuff?
Yeah, sometimes.
Which platform do you use the most?
It's changing now. Probably going more towards the Instagram one.
Right.
There's more conversation going on there. Twitter, there is quite a lot. There is still conversation going on there, but visually, Instagram's better now.
You do your stories.
The stories gives people a glimpse really quickly.
Yeah.
I don't like putting like loads of like average photos on. I like to put like good ones on, like more like less regularly kind of things.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but I had to just keep her on there with strict instructions of.
That's brilliant.
I know. And then she started putting things on, like she started improvising then. Which I didn't see
no.
till I came
Mothers
home.
who improvise.
I know. When I came home, she's going, who puts jam or cream on scones first? I went, since when would I ever ask that tweet? How do you make damson gin? I was like, we all know how to make damson gin. Like, why are you putting that on there?
We've all got Google.
I know. I was just like, this is so not me. But no one clicked, so it was fine. It obviously worked. But yeah, I mean, everybody else, they kind of just thought I'd gone away for a little bit, I think, or... Sometimes I don't see that many people there when I'm contracting.
That's true.
There'd be like a small number of people I actually see, or
yeah.
The important people knew where I was going.
Yeah. You've got to tell some people, I suppose. You can't just go disappear. Because that makes it more suspicious.
Bye.
Yeah. Where's she gone? Have you seen her?
I know.
I've not seen her for days.
I know. My poor mum was a nervous wreck. Bless her.
Yeah, because she would get no updates.
No, nothing.
Do you have no contact at home at all? The whole thing.
No.
Wow.
When you came out, you had one phone call to make, and when I came out, it was the night of. So I was nominated for the Young Farmer of the Year award for the last 3.
Right.
Big, massive fancy do in Grosvenor in London, and black tie, and I was meant to be there filming with the BBC. Yeah. And then I said I want to go on SES, so I didn't go. So my mum and my sister were there that night as I came out.
On your behalf, sort of thing?
Filming with the BBC. So she was like...
Did they know that the BBC know that you weren't going to be there?
Yeah. So
they
knew,
not tell
but they didn't know where. They didn't know where
just
I was
your
going.
Sister,
though.
It was you.
Yeah. Put some red hair on. You'll be fine. But they knew that I wasn't going to be there, but they didn't know where I was going. The BBC. Right. So like she was like worried that she was talking to me on the phone because she was mic'd still. She was like, "Oh, I don't really know what I can say because I'm on the microphone. I don't want them to hear it." But yeah, it was just a crazy thing of, do I go to the awards? Do I do SES? And I thought, SES.
It's once in a lifetime thing,
exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah.
I would have kicked myself a long time if I didn't.
Did you win the award?
No.
Oh, okay.
So even more reason. I was definitely glad I didn't go then. No offence. It was a great award.
What point of your life did the red hair come into things?
Oh, it's been red a long time. It's been red since I was... My poor dad, bless him. He came with me. to get my hair dyed red and my nose pierced on the same day when I was like 16, and it was like his first baby was just growing up like really quick, and he was like,
It's not like a Liverpool
come with
thing,
you.
is it? Football, Liverpool. In
oh,
football?
I do support Liverpool.
Okay, right.
But I just liked red. I don't know why. I mean, don't get me wrong, it has.
It's because it's not blue.
I know, yeah, not ideal. I don't really know what made it go red. I just quite liked it. It has gone different colours in between. I went blonde in between. Nightmare.
What are you naturally?
Like a dark brown.
Okay, right.
And then it's been like a bit pink. It's been a bit purple. But literally, my hairdresser kills me because every time I go in and say I want to change it, it's been ginger once actually. Like everything. Literally within like a month or 2 months, I'm like, I need to go back red. I miss it.
It's your brand now, though. You can't really change it.
It's so weird because like you.
There'd be uproar if you.
I know,
if you went,
honestly.
I'm going green.
Green,
Like,
the
no!
green shepherdess. Here I am. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about getting all your handles? All your was there? Did you have any trouble?
No, I don't know.
There was no Red Shepherdesses.
There was no Red Shepherdesses anywhere. There wasn't really many like shepherdesses anywhere, if you know
Oh,
what I mean,
well.
at the time.
There you go.
It's just kind of become a thing and grown a bit.
I bet there is
since.
now.
There is a few now.
When I looked it up, yeah, there's a
Yeah,
few.
there is a few. But yeah, it wasn't really a thing then. So I just wanted something that people would remember me for.
Yeah, definitely.
And then it just,
works.
it
You
worked.
managed to get the
And then
same thing on all the platforms.
Yeah.
Which is
and then it's grown and grown and grown now. And it did start off as like a thing where it was for me to kind of like find out who farmers are and different systems and go around the country, and then it kind of changed that into kind of like relating with the public more and showing them
what
where
you
the
do.
food comes from. Yeah.
almost educational in a way.
Yeah, and just giving people an insight into like actually this is how we farm in the UK, and this like tell our story instead of like letting someone else tell it. Not well.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what you do. You do tell the story of what a shepherdess does.
yeah.
Or a shepherd, just general. It's the same job.
Oh yeah, same job. I just put the S on the end for those. But yeah, and I don't like rose tint it. I put the good on it. I put the bad on it.
I've seen.
Yeah, so it's very.
I tell you, she's got some videos where on it. She's got a phone in one hand doing this, and she's like pulling a lamb out the other hand. Oh yeah, you know.
I've got very practiced at it now. I know. I'm good at the old multitasking. Like driving a quad bike, trying to get 3 dogs and me on the shot at the same time. Like yeah.
That's what it's
Well,
all
don't
about.
get me wrong. Sometimes it takes me like 5,000 attempts to get the
Yeah,
picture.
but it's worth it.
You should get a GoPro.
I know.
Oh,
I have
yeah,
got one,
that's
but then I
true.
never. It was getting dead jiggery on the bike.
You need to get quite.
And
They
you
are
want them little
expensive though.
sticks
You
that,
can
like,
get those
makes
ones,
it-
shock-mounted ones.
Yeah.
Where they don't like if you're putting them down. They stay. They've got like stabilizing.
Yeah,
things
that's what I
to stay the
need.
same. Yeah.
I think that might be the next progression now. If it keeps growing the way it does, and it keeps.
Yeah, you might get sponsorship.
I
You got.
know.
I saw you got some
Yeah,
sponsorship
I have
from
like
various things.
some random things and good.
You got
Like,
RNLI, was it?
so I'm an ambassador for the RNLI. So just help them. It's a bit of charity
Explain
stuff.
to people who that is. For some people won't know. We
That's
get a
for
lot.
lifeboats.
We've got a lot of American listeners.
Oh really?
So
So it's the lifeboats in the UK that
Right.
literally look after all the waters and keep us safe. And I'm absolutely obsessed with the ocean and the whales and everything like that. So
that's what we were gonna go before.
yeah. And I grew up around the water. Like the world's surrounded by water on 3 sides as well. So
Right.
the lifeboat people they were always kind of like very prominent in our life, and we always had them in school a lot. So when they asked me if I wanted to kind of get involved with the charity and help them raise a bit of awareness, I was like, yeah, definitely.
But you've got to use your sort of notoriety for
Yeah.
good things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So do a bit of work with them. So I'm going down to meet some of them on the Wirral base in June and have a bit of a tour around their stuff. And yeah, so I'm ambassador for them. And then, yeah, anything then from like
You got some like
wellies.
products and clothing
yeah,
and
so like
stuff like that.
Ridgeline are amazing. They send me like all my outdoor kit now. So
That's cool.
all my jackets and my fleeces and my like waterproof pants and everything come through them. And
And
they're
when you just tag
so
them in
good.
your posts and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, and like muck boots and my wellies, and so yeah, it's
Cool.
a lot of outdoor brands that most people would be like, I don't want them, but they're
some people do,
perfect for
though.
me. Yeah,
Especially, do you go up into the fells and that
all the
sometimes?
time.
Yeah.
All the time.
I mean, little walkers.
oh
I
yeah,
love that.
Yeah, no,
Are
it's-
you in that group on Facebook? I Love the Lake District.
yes,
That's-
yeah.
There's a lot of random,
There's a lot of people.
varying
Yeah,
posts that happen.
completely.
Big debates, and this person's been kicked out of the group. But
I know it gets a bit dramatic sometimes, isn't it?
yeah, you just start reading the comments. You go, oh my god,
I
how
know.
did this get to this?
I know. I've not been on it for a long time, but I am on it.
Yeah, but it's one of
No.
those groups where it just because you get a lot of people who aren't from the Lake District
Yeah.
asking questions and get into discussions. So
Oh, there's a
it is good
massive
for that.
audience of like and different like backgrounds of people from everywhere. Aren't
People
there?
like going to the summits of various fells at like 4 a.m. for a sunrise and stuff.
Yeah.
I have done that before, but I should. I
See,
want to do
I
it more.
haven't. It's on my list to do it all that this summer a lot more.
Yeah.
And like just take a tent and just go and camp
Like
out. And
like Ullswater.
yeah.
Like on
Yeah.
sunrise. I haven't done it, but I've seen some
Beautiful.
photos where you got like this. You got this the steam.
Yeah.
The mist.
It'd be so good. And like I think we forget sometimes we live in such a beautiful place and we forget to kind of like utilize
I
what's
try not
actually
to.
around
I've
us.
put some posts up recently. I've been various places just going. I mean, just look at this.
I know, it's so amazing. Like, and like, because I've been in London and Birmingham like this last week, and I got back today, and I was like, oh my god, it's so peaceful.
Yeah,
it's so quiet.
The story that you put up today, that stream, is that near where you live?
Yes, it's one of the farms I work on in Matterdale.
Just
And
have
it's just
have that
through
on
the
your
farm.
yeah, you're just chilling next to a river with
Yeah.
a few dogs, you know.
Yeah,
just
so
going,
I just literally
it's
gone.
just quiet. It's just
yeah,
like
peace, like nothing.
we
So
are lucky
peaceful.
to be able to just go and do that.
I know.
Because
It's
as the
so
longer
different.
time goes on, like as we start building out of cities and towns get bigger, like wildlife's just getting smaller and smaller. I just
I know it's
feel like
it's crazy.
lucky to be able to do it.
I know it's so crazy, isn't
You can
it?
see why people come from all over the world for the till electric.
Oh, completely.
Right.
It just drags people from everywhere, doesn't it? And it's so understandable why.
Try not to take it for granted.
I know, it's it. It's like go out and visit it more.
Yeah, like you've been on steamers.
Yeah, once, but not while I've lived here though. Only when as a
Oh, right,
tourist.
yeah.
Like, in my little crack rat days, I call it.
Yeah. No, I love doing stuff like that.
I know. No,
But
it's
it's-
awesome.
Especially going from a city, because I'm from Newcastle, so
Oh, are you? Oh, no way. Oh, so you'll
So-
appreciate the whole like hustle and bustle
yeah.
to nice
so
and
I
quiet.
definitely appreciate and try not to take things for granted. And
Yeah.
I'm always telling people to like enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheer up! Look where, look where we live.
Look at it. And that's what they said to us like in SES and Chile all the time. They were like, if everyone was like hanging out and dying, they were like, just look at where you are and look around you and be lucky that you're having this opportunity to be here right now. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah,
It's not as nice as
beautiful.
where I live.
Yeah, like, it's like a big version of the Lake District. It's no biggie.
Yeah. Bit colder though,
It was freezing.
especially you're just going up and up and up.
Yeah, we got to like 4,000 meters, I think, which is super, super hard on the altitude and the
And you
exercising.
can't breathe.
No,
Air's so thin.
so weird. Like that was the weirdest thing. Like you would literally like jog, because even like where we were for our camp, it was still, I think it was 2,500
You're quite
meters.
high there, so
Yeah.
even your air then, whenever you
Yeah.
do anything.
So even like doing that little tiny jog to the toilet, you got there, you were like, like what? I can't breathe.
Even when they got
properly.
you in the square, the centre,
Oh.
just going back to your thing. Run!
Yeah, run, like full on, like
Someone drops back. Hurry up!
oh,
It's hilarious.
It was awful, and like, you would never want to be at the back.
No.
That's why I was always
No.
first for the door and like first out the door.
Yeah.
I was like, no way, I don't want to
Well, there
do
was
it.
one bit where you were going up a hill and you said your knee was killing you.
Oh, so I sprained my knee. Yeah,
You sprained your knee.
sprained my knee the day
right.
before.
I was wondering, your knee just wouldn't start. She must have done something, but obviously they haven't shown it.
No, so I can't remember what it was. I think I was coming down a hill the day before, and I rolled on this big rock and then
right.
onto it. Thankfully, Louise, who's the Scottish one, she was in the bed next to me. She's a doctor, so she kind of like strapped it all up for me, and it was okay.
Right.
But then the next day, it was that timed like yomp they call it, very fast walk up the stupid incline like
Yeah.
I've never been on before, like with the massive burger.
Carrying that, yeah.
And I was like, it was
That's
the
a lot.
first
That's
time.
weight on your knee, isn't it? Which you've just heard.
Yeah, and it was the first time that I'd fell like at the back, towards the back, and I was like second from the back, and I was like, no
Yeah, you
way.
were. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I
was
just
like,
watched that one last night.
yeah. So then I was like, doesn't show, but I was like talking to Foxy on the way up for the first time, because his brother trained my boyfriend in the Marines,
Right.
and I was like, can we just talk about something else? He was like, go on then, and I was telling him that story, and then he was like, right, get your fucking ass up that hill. He's like, I'm hanging out too, look at me, and he was like red as well, and I was like, well, if he's struggling, it's fine, I feel a little bit better, but some of them, like Marc and that, was rapid up there, like, didn't even bother them.
Yeah, some of them just like.
Like the hills never bothered me at all until that day, because I'm so used to being out on the fell
Yeah.
and farming on like
Yeah.
the rough terrain and everything like that was absolutely fine. But yeah, the knee, that got sore then.
That was a test for you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just made it with like 2 minutes to spare.
Yeah, 2 minutes, and like Esme got cut behind me, and I
Yeah,
was
she
like,
just kept. It just then you were just getting away from
yeah,
her, and she was
But-
dropping back.
yeah. Bless her, she'll only be like 50. What is she? 54 kilos. So she's carrying half her body weight on the burden, like
No
up that
wonder,
hill, and
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, she was such a trooper. Honestly, she was amazing. Like, she was so small and she was so little, but she like absolutely grafted did everything.
Yeah.
I loved
Did
her.
anybody pick up on the mole?
No. Oh my god, I loved them all.
That was you remember
Petra.
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
Petra. Yeah.
Loved her. So weird. Like
She must have done a good job of just
she just very casually sat herself in the middle
Yeah.
as like the grey woman. Like we all joke saying, "Oh, I bet Marc's the mole because he looks just like Hamilton." Like,
Yeah, I did say that when he sat down. So the first thing he said was, because I said that to my missus, I was like, oh, they look a bit like. The first thing he said, has anyone told you that you look like me?
It was so
But
funny.
not as good looking.
Yeah, that's it. It was honestly, it was so funny. And and what was it like the second, maybe the third or fourth day? I think it was in there, and I'd just done like a big. Did you see the one where we had to? They shot us with the paintballs. We had to carry each other down.
Yeah.
So I had to carry Milo all the way down. It'd be like a mile, and it, honestly, he didn't look heavy because he was quite small, but he'd be like 70 kilos, and he was heavy. And I carried him all the way down because he got shot.
Yeah.
And I got in the thing, and Petra was giving like this pep talk, saying like, so like all these like lovely things, and I was like, oh, I wonder why she's being like so nice. And then that night she like withdrew, and literally she like walked out the back and then around
Onto the stage.
and I was like, what's she doing? Does she know she can't go up there? She's gonna get absolutely like.
He's going to punch her in the face.
Yeah, I was like looking. I was like trying to get. I was like, what is? I was like trying to look
I
forward
think
like this.
you could see everyone doing that. Everyone's going,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, and then she just stood there and like she like stood like so strong and she like just looked at home all of a sudden and I thought, shit,
Yeah.
she's like the mole.
25 years
I know.
in the Marines.
I was like, and she was like, she's been giving us all the information, and I was
Yeah.
like, well, I'd never said anything, so I was like,
Yeah.
I stayed quite like that with everybody. I just didn't want to get involved
Yeah.
in any drama, so it was all right. But after she left, we found a fleece and it had like all the notes in that she'd written about people. It was
I bet it's not about
and
you.
like and like a chocolate bar wrapper in there, and I was
Yeah,
like,
because every time they took her in to
Yeah.
like have a update with her,
Yeah.
she was always eating and drinking
Yeah,
like a brew. They
I
were
know.
giving her supplies.
I
was
know.
like,
I've been on the guard of her the night before for like that hour in the middle of the night, and I was quizzing her all sorts on her life, and she was like, "I live in Hereford, like I've got a daughter." And she was like going really in depth, and it was so believable. And I was like,
like
oh.
she's come up with far too much of a story here.
I know. I was like, "Oh right, yeah, okay, cool." I was like, "I'm a farmer, blah blah blah," and then all of a sudden, hellfire. She was in the SES in bloody Sweden,
that
but
was good.
lovely.
Yeah,
Like,
she seemed really
like
nice.
she was on my team for building the igloo, and I said to her, my God, you're so good at building this igloo. Like, you're so good at it. She went, I did it with my dad all the time. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's fine. She go up to Sweden, whatever. Not the fact
Yeah.
that she does it bloody and probably lives in one for about
So
2 weeks.
She was an asset to have in your team for anything
Yeah,
you were
she
doing.
was good, yes. Yeah.
Because that was a bit of a divisive thing, the whole...
Oh, yeah, they did it all the time. And it was weird because you'd be I was always with Marc all the time. There was not one time we ever got split up in the team things. And I don't know if it was on purpose or not on purpose, but it just seemed to be that way. So, weird.
So how long have you been with your boyfriend for then?
18 months now.
Oh, so you met him since you were up here?
Yeah. I met him at my best friend's wedding. So I was a bridesmaid, he was a groomsman, and then
Oh, right.
yeah, it was like another one of them little movie moments. Bridesmaid, groomsman, get
Across the dance
together.
floor.
Yeah, very good. They paired us up to walk down the aisle together on the way
Oh, I
out.
must have been planning this before.
I was like, yeah, this must be. And it was like, he's best friends with him, and like I'm best friends with her. So now we're like a best friend for.
So what does he do?
So now he's in the RAF now.
Oh, he's in the RAF.
Yeah,
So
so
is he away quite a lot then?
So he's in Greece at the minute.
All right.
Yeah, but he actually doesn't go away that often.
Right.
He is based in Lincoln, so he's not here like Monday to Thursday. And then he trains the Red Arrows. So the Red Arrows are away, like fly in, and he's their personal trainer for them.
Right. Okay.
So he has to
They
kind of
just fly.
follow
How
them.
much training do they need?
Oh,
I'm joking. I'm
just so
joking.
they don't crash into each other.
Yeah,
You know? So like at the minute he's like living the dream. Literally, like he's
Yeah.
on the beach in Greece, and he like trains them at like 10. And I think he trains them at like 5, and the rest of the time he just like watches them in the sky, like sunbathing and not. But I think he's getting a bit bored now, to be fair, because he's been there 2 weeks, and now he's like, okay, I'm done with sunbathing. I'm done with swimming in the pool. Like I need to do something else.
Yeah. So
But-
how long has he been doing that for then?
The RAF.
Yeah.
We came out the Marines. Oh, it'll be a year ago in January.
Right.
So just before I met him, he came out.
Right.
Oh, just after I met him. Yeah, just after I met him.
Right.
So, yeah. No.
So has he adapted to farming stuff as well?
Oh, he
or-
loves it. Like he proper loves animals, which is good.
So you got a farm together then?
So my family, I missed that whole bit out, didn't I? Sorry, guys. My family like kind of fell in love with Cumbria too. Well, we'd always been up here like all the time. But then, yeah, we literally like decided to look for a small holding then. So we bought.
So they've moved up here as well?
Kind of. Well, my mum and dad have got a business on the Wirral, but it takes them all over the country, so like Gloucester, Devon, everywhere.
Right.
But they're up here like Thursday to Sunday.
Okay.
And then my sister, she moved up here and her boyfriend farms, but he's also from the Wirral. Right. It happens that we all came up here.
Right.
And now she's a doctor in Carlisle.
Okay.
So we all bought, so we got the small hold and we bought that. And then, yeah, it's just kind of like grown from there. It was like 26 acres and now we're up to about 80 now.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just kind of
acquiring land.
it just happens. Like you can't even help it. You're like, oh, a few more sheep there. Oh, we need some more land. You got the cows, and yeah, it just happens in front of you. You don't even realise. So
you set up as your own business then now?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
As shepherding, just shepherding.
Yeah. So the contract shepherding is my own business, and then the farm we have separate. If
right,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And we run like a leadership. So my dad does a lot of leadership development stuff as well. And we combine like our two worlds together.
Right.
So we now do like leadership days where we put people in a ring and I teach them to work a sheep on the dog, or teach them to work a dog on the sheep. Relate that back to kind of like body language, communication, and we have like companies from all over the place.
Yeah. So like trying to get the working with the dog to round the sheep up and sort of thing.
Yeah, and like we do like a lot of like personality tests and that before they get there. So like I match the dogs accordingly. So
like SAS for sheep.
Yeah, a little bit. Like if he's like quite like a short, if it comes out like saying like he's not that patient or he's a bit this or that, then I put the opposite dog in the ring with him. Or her.
Really
so then they have
them.
to, and then I'll give them a different dog with a very opposite personality.
You've got to have patience, surely.
Oh yeah.
Especially at the beginning.
I know. Do you know what? They actually pick up on it quite well. We're just teaching them very, very basic stuff. But one day I did have this guy, I put my dog in and I never put mine in because it takes me about 4 days to reprogram him back to working.
Reprogram?
Yeah. After everyone else is like...
Oh, the batteries are falling out.
I know. Honestly, like, people send him like the wrong way and they don't make him lie down. So I have to get it back into his head. And honestly, sometimes it can take days. So I learned very quickly. Like this man was in there and he was like screaming, shouting at the dog. And the dog was like looking like this, like, oh my God, what's going on? And then he jumped out the ring, jumped out the gate and into his kennel. And for that, it took me like literally 4 days for him to work properly. And I thought, never again am I using my dog.
Because you used to have that program, One Man and His Dog, didn't they?
Yeah, they still do it sometimes. They do it on Country File now.
Do you remember aware the comedian Lee Evans?
Yeah.
You remember his bit about that? He used to have these programs like One Man and His Dog. What a pointless job for the dog anyway, because sheep generally follow each other anyway. So the sheep's going, where are you going? We're going in the pen. Oh, I'll come with you then.
It's so true.
It's like the dog's there going, go on in the pen, he's whistling. And they go, we're going anyway.
I've never seen that, but I'm going to have to watch it when I get home.
I'll find which one it was.
Yeah.
I've got them all. I'll send you the link.
That is so funny. It's so true. Oh my God, like there's so many things. I keep going back to SES, but like I was walking we were all walking in this line one day and they've twigged on that I was like a farmer or a shepherd or whatever. And they didn't never call you by your name and often it was your number. So mine was number 25. Yeah. And he like was just walking in this line and he went, oh, you're number 25, you'll be fucking used to this, won't you? And then he started going, bah, bah. I was like, all right, yeah, you're funny, aren't you?
Because sheep are used for, like, obviously counting sheep to go to sleep.
Yeah.
People always like, oh, they're just like sheep, these people. They just follow each other.
Follow everywhere.
They're just examples of following.
I know. They do. I mean, sometimes they really don't.
No, you need the dogs
yeah.
for... Those dogs are brilliant, aren't
the
they?
The dogs are so amazing. You couldn't do your job without them.
No.
I don't know how some people do manage, but it's much more of a stressful situation.
Yeah, the dog's just going like this.
Yeah.
And the sheep's just going, the sheep's just doing what to do.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's so fast.
I know, they're amazing.
Oh, because I used to have a sheepdog when I was a kid, but I lived in Newcastle in the city.
Yes, that was like us, we had them as well.
That was the wrong place.
No,
wrong dog. We should have had like a Labrador, because they're fucking lazy. But we ended up giving it away to a farm. But it used to just get... He had so much energy. He just couldn't. We used to leave it, and he used to have. Or we'd come in, and we'd be like, take it out for a walk around the block, which was never enough for a dog. And then you're sitting down watching the telly, and then it just started going.
Yeah.
We used to go, oh, it's having a mad half hour.
Yeah, they never settle, do they?
No.
Ever? Like they need so much like mental stimulation. It's ridiculous.
But, like a lot of this stuff's like instinctive. Like compared to all my friends with all their dogs, you throw a ball, and it wouldn't even chase it. It would wait till it landed, then it would go all the way around the outside of the field, and like behind it, and wait for me to go.
Yeah.
Fetch it, and then it'll get it and it'll bring it back. It's like I was like, how does it know this?
I know. We were the same. No, we had our first collie again, like proper like city towny people. We had a field next to us. We were like, yeah, we're fine. We used to let it out in the field, and it used to like round us up, like, and we couldn't get it back. Like for 8, we had to get like a dog psychologist in the end. Like, thank the Lord, I know so much more about dogs now, but we had no idea. And literally, you'd take a step forward towards it, and you'd just take one back. And then again, and then we'd try and send someone round and like try and like distract him, and he'd just go, nah. And you'd literally go back in the house for like an hour, and he'd just be sat there still, saying like, and he was a nightmare. Like, we still got him now, bless him. He's like 15 now and like can't barely see.
Wow.
But yeah, he was the same. They're so
job.
clever.
You couldn't do your job without dogs.
No way.
Essential.
They get like your best friends as well, like because I work with mine.
They're so
like,
obedient
every
as well.
day. Yeah.
I always see them, obviously driving around here, like on back of
On the
trailers
quad,
or quad bikes, or just there, just going.
And so happy at
Yeah,
life
just
too.
like loving life.
Like, look at my
Where we going? Where we going?
Yeah, they love it. Proper love it.
It's like what they were made for, designed for.
Completely. It's just literally the instincts just like drilled into them from the minute they're born. Like it's insane, and they're so loyal to you, and all they want to do is please you. Like there's such lovely dogs to have.
Most breeds are like that.
Yeah, they're amazing. I literally can't imagine life without a dog. I mean, I've got a few now, but
I mean, I've looked after friends like Labradors, and they're just the opposite. They're just lazy, just like with my dog's just like, come on. But these ones just like, come on.
Yeah,
we're going for exercise.
We're going. Let's go.
They get halfway, they go, treat now.
Yeah.
No.
Like, oh right, okay, I'll sit. We used to have a golden retriever that used to just sit, and you have to drag it anywhere. You're like, I don't want to walk no more.
I love how dogs are just like the personality that comes through in them. They're just so different.
Oh, so crazy, isn't it? Some of mine, like, literally just the complete opposite of each other. It's insane. But I love them all.
Dogs are the only animals that recognise pointing.
Yeah.
No other animal will do it.
No.
A cat will go, what?
Yeah, they're all like, cats. I mean, cats don't do anything.
No, I'm not a cat fan.
I mean,
they're all right.
I've got cats, but I mean,
they just please themselves, don't
they?
Just
they don't really care about you at
no,
all.
they maybe come around you if there's no food in the bowl.
Yeah, a bit of
That's
cupboard
about it.
love. If they want a little cuddle, they'll be there for a bit. But then they like dribble and everything. I'm just not into them that much.
Nah.
But they do well at keeping like mice and that down on the farm.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's why we have them.
Yeah.
But
so what have you got? What have you got like a big picture plan for where you want to go, what you want to do?
there is so many different things going on right now.
Because I noticed you've been in London for meetings.
Meetings. I can't really say what it's for.
I wasn't going
but it's to kind of, it's to just keep pushing. I want to do a bit more telly stuff.
Yeah.
So, and really trying to like keep interacting with the public that way and getting to really pushing like British farming message across.
Well, this goes back to what I was saying before about I couldn't really think of anyone else who's like is celebrity farmers.
Yeah, so weird.
But there should be.
There should be.
There's no reason why there shouldn't be.
No, and it needs people to tell a positive story about what we do, and like we've got the highest welfare standards in the world for farming, and like people think that we're absolutely awful and we don't care, and we completely care, like 120%. Like our animals are like our life, and we can't make any money without them.
Well, people don't realise how important, like just the general public don't realise how important sheep and cows are.
Exactly, and even like the environment, they're so important. Like a vegan diet is very on the cards at the minute, and it's very popular.
Do you eat meat?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it's what people realise is like not all our land can be arable, and we can't just grow crops on our land. Most of the Lake District, you can't grow anything apart from sheep and cows in there. Like, and that's what people kind of forget. But yeah, they're like. We love them just as much as we love our dogs and that we do. So it just needs that storytelling, and
I think that's what you're doing. You are in the process of doing that.
And just trying to like get people to kind of support locally to where they are, and
really I think you're just maximising your sort of you've had a bit of fame because of the TV program. You need to use that for what you do. So
and I think it's not for selfish reasons. It's more for kind of like industry reasons, really. And with Brexit,
but you do love doing it as well.
Oh, absolutely love it.
That for me, that's the thing that comes across. So, like, you can tell that you love doing it.
Oh, completely.
And it kind of makes it look. Well, I'm not saying it's not fun, but it makes it look fun.
Oh yeah, no, it is fun.
I think the industry overall needs more of that.
Yeah, it needs a bit more like energy and enthusiasm in it sometimes, doesn't it? Like
and a bit of glamour.
Yeah, I think so. Like when you
dirty, smelly farmers. You know
I mean most of the time I do look a bit of a tramp, but I try and make it a little bit better. But yeah, you ask like most people like what they think a farmer is, straight away they'll just say like an old man, checkered shirt, flat cap.
I mean, there is a lot of that.
And there is a lot of that, but there's also a lot of the complete opposite, like coming in and moving into farming too, and that's what...
I like lambing is pretty amazing.
Oh, lambing's unreal.
You see lambs being born, and calves as well.
Oh, yeah, like...
You do calves as
well? Calves as well, yeah. So
that takes a bit more effort.
Yeah, honestly.
I couldn't do that one on Instagram.
I definitely can't do the multitasking thing on there. It's impossible. But, like, yes, from when I first saw that lamb born... Like I still feel the same.
Did you put a video of that up? You found a video. Was that the first time that wasn't the first time you'd seen it, but that was the first time you'd been
I'd
there for
lambed
it.
sheep.
You've
Yeah,
done it yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool that you had
Oh
that
my
filmed.
God, I know,
You
and
could
I
pull
was
it out the
really,
archives.
I was really scoused on that one. I was like, and my wellies were so cringy. Did you see them?
Most people wouldn't notice.
They were like, no, they did. They
We're
were like,
hunters.
they were like bright blue with like dots on, polka dots on. Honestly, they were all, and I had these trackies on and like an North Face jacket. I was like the definition of like a townie on.
Trying to
be a farmer. It was.
You got to start somewhere.
I know, but that honestly it was cringy. But it was good for people to see,
Yeah.
like the very beginning.
Where you started and where you are now.
Yeah, and I still get the same feeling though every time I like a lamb or sheep. Like it's so like magic, like watching like a lamb take its first breath, and it's so weird because like humans and like babies, we take so long to kind of like develop, and like lambs.
It's a long drawn out thing, isn't it?
Yeah, lambs they breathe.
How long are they pregnant for?
5 months minus 5 days.
That's precise.
Yeah, that's the only way I remember it. 5
Okay.
months minus 5 days. So yeah, 5 months ish.
So they're pretty precise on that then.
They're not too far off it really. They all kind of come in within that. It's a bit like humans. You can still go over and still come early, but yeah.
What's the sort of success rate like like the ones that live and the ones that die?
To be honest, you don't lose massive amounts. You always get some that you get some. The issues come kind of earlier on or later on.
Right.
So sometimes you'll get them like abort lambs, or they come too early, so they're not quite. There's like the premature, and they're the ones that are really hard to kind of get going.
There's not much you can do.
Not. I mean, you can try, and all we do is try. We've got heat lamps, and we've got a lot of different kind of like ways of trying to like revive lambs and try and keep them going, but you just can't save them all no matter what you do.
Is that quite a tough thing at the beginning?
It was at the beginning. It was really sad at the beginning. I used to get so upset about it.
Remember the first time it happened?
Yeah, I remember the first time I lambed a sheep and it didn't live. And then because you almost take it like it was your fault.
Yeah.
When it really isn't.
Anyway.
It was
anyway.
But yeah, you just kind of learn to kind of realise that actually there's like 1,000 more sheep in the shed that need to lamb and that need you, and you have to kind of be on the game and not.
You can't dwell on things.
Yeah, you still get sad and you still like
respect
that kind of life, as you like, if you know what I mean. But you just have to kind of keep going and get on with it. And
now you just take it in your stride when it happens because it's just another one.
Yeah, I mean it's always annoying. It's sad at times, like, and you're like, oh, for goodness sake, like, what could you have done different?
But if you were doing that, if you could do it that rapidly with humans, it would be the same thing.
I know. It would. It just happens. Like when you're on that massive numbers, you're gonna lose some, but you don't lose any more. You don't want any more than 2%, 2 to 3%.
Yeah. So have you had people's first time with you then?
Yeah, and honestly, that is what I absolutely love about
that
the
could be
public
a good
stuff.
thing.
Yeah.
Like you're as a person who like you're introducing new people, like you were introduced.
Yeah.
To it.
Yeah.
Keep
The only
that
thing is mine is not big enough to do it. So like if I want to get people for lambing days, I haven't got enough sheep that are going to guarantee that they're going to lamb while they're there.
Right.
But I absolutely love it. Like even when people like feel wool for the first time, or they see the lamb born, or they feed a lamb, like it's like they look in their eyes, like it get like this spark. Like animals bring like a completely different side out of people,
It's
and
just
that's what
life,
I love.
isn't it?
Yeah,
life as well.
and like I've had like full grown like adults that are like 50 years old and they touch wool for the first time and they can't believe how warm it is or how thick it is, and I'm like, oh my god, I was like, come here, like dude, look at this and look at this. And I love seeing people like literally have that first connection with the countryside properly. We've got this like bridge that's completely broken between two different worlds, and it just needs building back up. And people are so interested about actually where the food does come from and what goes into it.
They don't think about it a lot of the time. Like the supermarket.
Yeah.
You just go and pick up a pack of meat.
Exactly.
Eat it.
Yeah.
Never think about where did that come from.
No.
What part of the animal was that?
Yeah.
You're just like, no one thinks of that.
No. So I do a lot of work with like kids in schools and stuff too, and trying to inspire them to kind of like understand where the food comes from. And then it's so weird because they take that conversation home then around the family dinner table or around the supermarket saying, well, why don't we buy British, or why don't we go to butchers instead? And it has like an ongoing effect. Like you have like teachers and like parents and that come up to me or have messaged me saying, oh, my little girl was in your class and she said this and she's come home and said that. And it's times like that where you're like, oh, do you know what? Sometimes you feel like I'm making no difference when doing all the stuff that I'm doing.
Until
you get messages like that and you're like, oh, it is working. Like you are.
That's the kind of thing that could be like where you could film things like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Because I noticed you don't really use YouTube, do you?
No, I haven't done any YouTube stuff. It's the only thing I haven't kind of crept into yet.
Because there is a lot of farming stuff on YouTube. I've noticed.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've not ever ventured into that world.
There's
Really.
all those things that you're doing about, like, introducing people to lambing and the farming side of things. All those things that if you had the setup to film it while you were doing it, just put it out there.
Oh yeah.
Let's just keep churning out the content.
It would be amazing.
Yeah.
It would be, and I've done a bit with the BBC, like filming. So they followed me for like 3 or 4 days. They followed us. So they followed like a fell gather. They followed me work with someone else. They followed me in the school, doing the school visits, and it went down amazing. People really, really liked it. So, the aim is to kind of try and do a bit more stuff like that, really.
Yeah.
Try to get involved a bit more like that. So,
I need to see you on Country File or something like
I
that.
know.
That's your home.
I know. Well, there's so many things heading in the direction of doing a bit more TV. So I'm on a bit of a wave currently, and I'm just kind of.
You just got to go with it. Just got to go.
I don't know what way it's going to go, but I'm just kind of riding it and seeing.
Yeah. Like the stuff that you're putting out, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of stuff that's like it's infectious.
Yeah. But I put on the one in the snow. Did you see one?
Yeah, that's what I've written that down here.
Yeah.
About, like, because that came from nowhere.
Oh my God.
We weren't expecting that snow.
No. So
when lambs were getting born in the snow.
Yeah. So I woke up at like 5:15 or something, and I looked out my window and I was like.
Because I'd never thought of that. I was like, oh shit, lambs are white, snow's white. What the fuck are they going to do?
I was like, am I dreaming? Like, I was like, this, like, what is going on? It was like 6 inches in Cumbria, and it was a lot. And I only had one lamb born, I knew that.
Right.
That was already outside. So I ran up the hill in the snow, in my wellies, and that obviously recorded
I was
all
going
at
to
the same time.
First thoughts, get the camera on.
Yeah, very important. With my little jacket for this lamb, and I was like, grand, that'd be great now. It was a couple of days old. And then I just heard like these little noises, and I was like, what? And there was like 3 more sets of lambs born, and I was like, oh my God. And I was meant to be farming and lambing at a neighbour's farm down the road. I was already meant to be in work, and then I was having to get these lambs like back down to like our little shed.
Yeah.
It was so stressful. It was unreal. But I thought, Joe, I'm going to document this, because this is exactly the kind of thing that people don't see.
Yeah.
What goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And how we have to kind of like just deal with things on the spot, and how we have to just kind of go with it. So, but then it went down insane, and I had to go on like Sky News Live, and it was absolutely mental. I was like, you're like, can we come and video? Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I'm meant to be lamb sheep, but yeah, okay, come on.
They'll be there. Where's she at? She's on Sky.
Yeah, I know. Literally, they were having a tea break, and I was on Sky, and they were watching it live, and I was like, this is so
like,
weird.
We'll let you off.
I know, it was so weird. And it was so weird, like, it was the first time I'd gone to camera, but not had anyone, I wasn't talking to anybody.
You were just
So
filming.
I was having to look into the camera and listen to them in my ears.
Oh, right, I get you.
But normally I'd have someone, like, actually filming it or talking to me at the same time as filming it.
Yeah.
So that was the kind of, like, a bit weird, but it went okay. I watched it back, and I was like, yeah, I'm happy.
You did all right
I'm
there.
happy. It's okay. First live appearance, it's fine.
So what was the thing that you just did at the weekend? What was that like for you?
Very different. So different. So that was Body
another
Power.
media thing, but it's completely different.
Yeah, so it's Body Power, which is like a big fitness expo. And what was there coming through the doors? I don't know. On the Saturday alone, there was 50,000 come through the door. It was so busy.
So you're there for like 8 hours, 10 hours?
I was there for 3 days. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we get there for 8 and leave at 6.
Right.
So it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
But again, it's just a whole different audience, isn't it? And most people that know me for the SAS thing also know me for the farming thing. So it was quite a nice little mixture of talking about the two. And
you just did a lot of talking to lots of people.
A lot of talking. And then I had a little go on the old abseil and stuff. And a few times because it was fun.
Yeah.
I was like, first time I went down, it was quite high when I got up there. Like, this tower. I thought, oh, that'd be dead easy, that. And I thought, I've done this.
You're not allowed to be scared of anything now.
I know. I was like, I got up there and I was like, oh. So I didn't put a rope on, which I meant to.
All right.
So I just thought, I'm just going to wing it. Like, first time I went down, I was like this, like gripping it for my life. And then, like, the next couple of times, I was just like, down. But, no, it was really good. And because I do the CrossFit stuff as well, I like dibble in and out of that kind of world as well. So it was, it was good connecting again, like, with different kind of people and networking. And
it's been a while since you've seen those people.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have been since I went up Snowdon with some of them in December. Freeze.
Perfect time to go. Well, why not?
Stupid idea. Honestly, we were like, yeah, but we're SDS now, so we can do it. And I was like, it was stupid.
Doesn't mean we have to, though.
Yeah, it was stupid. We went up that crib.
Let's go in June.
I know. Went up that crib Gok route, up like that ledge either side, and it was so misty. It was pissing down. It was windy, and I was like, this is so not safe. But I was like, but we're with Ollie, so it's fine. He's like SES like legend.
Was that an aid or something? Or
no, it was just for fun. It was just to meet up after the show.
Hilarious.
Oh God, it was freezing, but the after bit was good, so it was fine. Just went straight to the pub then.
Social side of it.
Yeah, straight to the pub, got some beer, got by the fire, and we were grand then. It was fine.
So have you got any hobbies then? Or have you not got time for hobbies?
Oh no, I always have to. I always make time for. This is my big thing as well. In the farming world, you can get so caught up in having to work all the time. And there's a lot of pressure on the fact that farmers work all the time. And I think people almost feel like you have to live up to that stereotype of we work every single minute of the day.
A lot of them do.
Yeah, but you don't have to.
You don't
in
have
my
to.
eyes, you don't have to. And I massively make sure that I always make time. There was a point where I never, and it made you lose your kind of like passion and your love for the job because it overtook everything. Like your social life, your family. Yeah.
Rather than because you get generations of farmers. Like if he has a son, he's going to be a farmer. There's no question. He just does it.
Yeah.
But they just work all the time. It's like when have you been on holiday? Oh, not for about 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like why?
Yeah, and it's insane. So I always make time. So I do the CrossFit all the time, paddleboard, anything to just get outside.
Yeah.
Anything outside.
How long have you done CrossFit for?
Well, I did it for about 6 months at uni when I was in Liverpool, and then literally just it'd be like my year back at CrossFit like this year. So I started last year in April, and then 2 weeks in they were like, do you want to do tribal clash? I was like, okay. And that was another one of them random things. I've got this problem where
just keep saying yes to everything.
That's my issue. I say and then I panic and worry about it later. And then I'm like, okay, well.
But because if you didn't, you probably wouldn't end up doing half the things.
You don't. That's the thing. You don't like literally just phrase yourself into these things. And I think that's the only reason why I've progressed so far and quickly in the farming world is because I've just said yes to everything, and I've done a lot of different like things, a lot of conferences, a lot of like ambassador programs, and I've just said yeah.
Do you think there's a bit of a stigma because you're a woman? Have you had any of that? Have you come across any of that?
I've never let it be an issue really.
No.
Because if I ever speak to anyone, they're always like, "Oh, what's it like being in a male-dominated world?" And yeah, obviously you've got your own battles every now and then. And I think what was worse was the fact that it was a combination of towny woman, like redhead
like,
scouser.
what's she doing?
Yeah, like all four of those things just did not
worked against you.
When I walked onto a farm, everyone was like, "Nah, she ain't gonna be here very long. She'll be back in Liverpool soon." And but once you got over those initial stereotypes and you smash them,
and you've been doing it for quite a while. It's just
the only people that you get like being idiots are ones that don't know you or don't like work
just
with
like
you.
being prejudiced, aren't they? Just making
and the most people on social media that I've never even met before, never even had any interaction with, they just they just twist what you do, or they just make this false kind of profile of who you are, and I just kind of use it. I learned very quickly to kind of use that negativity and flip it back on itself and use it more as motivation to just prove them wrong.
It's more on them than you. Yeah. You're just doing what you do.
Yeah, and I just get on with life with a smile on my face. Like, really,
you love what you're doing. You're doing it. So what's it got to do with them?
And what everyone says, I don't really care.
Some people can get hung up on stuff like that.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. There's been times where I have been hung up on things and it's upset me.
As you get older, though, that gets.
Yeah, you just learn. You just learn that.
Skin.
Yeah, and it's a waste of time. And
I'm less and less sort of responding to stuff. I just put stuff out.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go on because there's all the different platforms. I haven't got time.
Oh no, it's so hard, isn't it?
But I just put it out there and just. Then the next time I'm going to put something on, then I'll look at what happened since. Just dip in and that's it, done. Because it could be there for ages. On social media. So long, especially if you feel like you have to reply. Do it without it, but you don't want to get sucked into it too much.
Exactly, you just can't let it take over everything.
Like it's just last night. Well, the adverts that were in the SAS in the middle was it just shows the way we are. The meerkats. He goes, while you scroll through social media in the adverts, let me just tell you, they've just got it. It's
so right though, and it's like this whole kind of like society shift, hasn't it? That it's the worrying thing that we all start to live a bit too much through our phones, and sometimes I can be really guilty of it. And
all of us.
And
I work. You just be there, and you just.
Yeah, and it's
in the world and time's just
exactly
like passing you by.
And it's become part of the job now, really, that I literally put it on all the time. And I know it just something heads in,
but that side of it kind of is part of your job.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But if you're at home, and you're just there,
I try and switch off when I get home, or when I'm out with friends and out with family. I just kind of go, nah, that's it now.
That's what more people need to do.
Yeah, or when I'm at the gym or anything that's
Because like some people, we've all like members of family, or they just scroll and they could be doing it for like 10 minutes, and you just think, did you learn anything there?
Yeah.
Was that worth it?
Yeah, or you're like talking to them, like, did you hear anything what I just said?
Yeah.
And they'll repeat it back to you, but they didn't actually take it in or
Yeah,
listen
no,
to actually what you said.
That doesn't make any sense. But
Yeah, you're like, never mind.
But we're all guilty of it.
Oh, we
It's
are
just-
completely.
It's difficult. It's
Yeah.
very difficult.
I
But
know.
yeah, those, that is, it is part of your job.
Yeah,
I
it
suppose.
is. It
And
is.
mine for this.
Exactly, yeah.
I kind of wouldn't be on it hardly at all if it wasn't for that.
No, it's a massive tool now, isn't it, to grow
Yeah.
your business and to
You
market
should use it in the right way.
yourself and- yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But Instagram is probably my favourite. I think
Yeah.
I get the most out of that.
I think there's a lot more like positivity on Instagram as well. You don't get the same like on Twitter. You can get quite a lot of like almost groups of people, and they can be quite negative in ways, or But on Instagram, you don't seem to get that. It's more kind of positive, and people are kind of.
Twitter's the least for me. I don't get much on
No.
Twitter. I've got just as much following on there as anything else, but it's just, for me, it's just not
that thing.
don't get any much interaction.
I just think it's farming. Farming just does well on it for
I
some
think
reason.
it does depend on what you do. Like I've now linked Facebook to Instagram, so I just put something on Instagram, and then it just goes to Facebook.
Yeah,
it's just
I've got my stories that link that, but not my posts. I don't know why, but I just have them separate for some reason.
Sometimes I'll go to Facebook, because if you tag someone on Instagram, it doesn't do it on Facebook.
No,
so someone has to go edit the post on Facebook and then tag that person.
Yeah. I don't know why.
I wish it would, because it's the same company.
Yeah, and it annoys me because I always put music to my stories, but they don't post them onto Facebook.
No, you can't put music. Well, is it copyrighted music though?
Well, it's just what you can have on, like you pick on the Instagram story. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you'd think if it's.
And I was like, well, they're the same people, and you can link them. Well, why can't you just link my nice little music that goes perfectly with that video? Like, I take time to like study that. I'm like, yeah, what song I'm gonna put to this now? It's gonna make it look awesome. Sometimes it goes down well good. Like my sister was like walking with the sheep one day with a bag of cake, and you know, like on Snow White, it's like hi ho. Hi ho! It was amazing. She was like bopping at the same time and everything.
Well, you just said something that you confused me for years that I didn't know. Why is it called cake?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's a Cumbrian thing, actually.
Explain to people who don't know.
Cake is like sheep food, so
it doesn't make any sense.
It's like
Awesome.
I guess it'd be a bit like dog food, but it's like
Like some of the conversations I have with people, I'm like, what? Cake?
Yeah, no,
You're gonna feed a sheep cake? Well, since when?
Victoria Sponge.
would definitely eat a Victoria sponge if we could. No, I don't know why we call it that. I think it's just when them Cumbrians have got so many random lingos. Like when I first came up here, I could not understand a word.
That's true, yeah.
And they couldn't understand me.
Well, you've never been broad Scouse, though, have you?
I was a bit more, not like proper, but
Because I
I
did
was.
used to be proper Geordie. And people
Did
used
you?
to,
You would never know, would you?
I had to repeat everything. People used to go,
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
So then it sort of gets beaten out of you
Yeah,
eventually.
I'm feeling your pain because in the end you just, like start saying things like 5 times and they still don't know what you said.
Then you go, oh, that sounded Cumbrian, that.
Yeah, I'm like convinced I sound pretty much Cumbrian now, and everyone's like, "No, you don't." But if I
It
go
wasn't until you
home-
got here
yeah,
and we started talking before we started recording that I just, I just there.
hellfire, it slipped out.
But like that video that you put up today, I didn't pick any on it.
No, just depends.
Hadn't occurred.
Literally just depends. Like if I go home, everyone's like, "You sound so Cumbrian," and then up
Yeah.
here, everyone's like, "Nah, you still Scouse."
But what about for me? If you're on the phone to someone over home,
Oh,
it
yeah.
comes straight back.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
why, man? Aye,
Yeah.
yeah. Nee bother.
Proper Geordie.
You just can't
It
help
does,
it.
doesn't it? It
Yeah.
literally does. But like, it's like when I first came up here, and like 2 Cumbrian, like you could understand 1 Cumbrian, especially a farmer, and then when you get 2 Cumbrian farmers together, oh my god! I used to just stand there with like a blank face until they went.
Yeah, when it's really broad, I'm like,
No, and they have these random words, and it just all blends into. Oh no, it was just
those little words like lal,
lal.
a lal sheep,
Lal.
like a
And
what?
yam.
Little sheep, lal.
Yeah, and they say to go home and go and yam, and I'm
Gan
like,
yam.
what? What are you
To be
talking
fair,
about?
that's Newcastle's gan and yam. We
Is
would
that
say
right?
gan yam, but
Oh.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
we
in
just
Liverpool,
say
like our kid.
our kids, our
yeah,
lads.
Yeah, our lad.
I always say like our hall and our Kate, they're my sisters, and you always have to put a little R on the before it. Why?
Yeah.
It's not right. Not right. It's not right.
But I don't know. Accents. Some of them are like. Which is your least favorite accent in this in from the UK?
The Brummie.
Yeah. It's a bit.
No offense to anyone in Birmingham.
No.
But
all right, there, skip.
yeah, I just can't. I think after being
busted.
there, after being there this weekend, I was
Oh yeah,
just
you
like,
were, weren't you?
just
You're
can't.
surrounded by
I
Birmingham
know.
accents.
Thankfully, it brought a lot of people from everywhere, like
Yeah,
all over
yeah,
the
yeah,
UK.
Yeah.
But I was just like, no, No, I just can't deal with listening to it for too long.
To be honest, I'm not a fan of the like broad Scouse accent.
No, if you get a proper one.
And for some reason, it's women that
Yeah.
annoy me more.
Because it's higher pitch though too, and
Not
it's
saying annoy
screechy.
me, but you know what I mean. Yeah, like proper like there,
Yeah.
right.
I know it sounds awful. It sounds a bit thick sometimes.
Like, did you watch Line of Duty?
No.
You know,
see,
Stephen Graham, the
who
main
was
guy.
he? I know.
He was.
I don't know.
Have you seen Snatch?
Yeah.
He was Tommy in that.
Oh,
him.
okay. Yeah.
He's getting on some really big
Yeah, he is,
roles
isn't
now. Yeah,
I need to
proper
watch that.
Scouse. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's on the iPlayer.
I'll get on it.
Have you watched it? No.
No.
It's probably
Everyone's raving about
yeah.
it.
It's the one of the only series that's been picked up by other countries.
Yeah.
They all
Oh,
want to
really?
watch. Like America, it's big in America as
No
well.
way.
So we don't have many of them that have.
No, we don't.
We've
really.
got a lot. There's so many drama. Every time I turn the TV on, it's like this drama
Something
starting Saturday on ITV. I'm like, there's too many. I can't.
Yeah, I don't watch
can't.
that much. I mean, I watch like casually, and that's about it. Oh, and a bit of Emmerdale.
Emmerdale. It used to be
Of
called
course.
Emmerdale Farm.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why I must have been
Back in
just
the day.
drawn to it back in
Yeah.
the day.
I think it started off as a more farming.
Yeah, I mean,
thing.
it definitely is more. I can't be doing with EastEnders.
No, the only one I watch is Coronation Street.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I find that
I
quite
dip
funny.
in and out of Coronation
It's
Street.
funny. I find that we're
Yeah.
like watching it, we're like laughing because
Yeah.
the writing's quite. EastEnders takes itself far too
Oh,
seriously.
it does. Yeah, and
It's
it
like,
just gets far
oh,
too
God.
dramatic and a
Yeah,
bit
it's
too
like-
samey.
Like I used to watch Hollyoaks, but only
You
when it
didn't.
first started in
Oh.
1997.
Probably was
Because it
decent
was
then.
new. Yeah, it was all right. But
Yeah.
then after about a couple of years, I was like, these storylines are ridiculous.
Oh,
and the
it's
acting's
so-
even worse.
It's awful, isn't it?
And it just seems to have got worse as the years
Yeah.
gone on, but the viewing figures have gone up.
Oh, I don't know how.
It makes no sense.
It's awful.
And the acting is
No, it's cringy, isn't it?
And
Because
then
that's set in Chester, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
we're all
Yeah, Chester.
somewhere.
I think it's Chester.
Yeah.
But then the actors get recycled between the soaps. They
Yeah.
just start going around.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
It used to be, now
Yeah.
it's
To be fair, a lot of the Hollyoaks ones have come through to the bigger ones.
Yeah,
haven't
they have. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just could never get into that one.
Like, do either of you watch TV live when it's on? All I ever watch is stuff I've recorded.
Rarely.
Yeah,
just
rarely.
when I'm channel hopping.
Yeah.
Like SCS was the only thing because I had to go
Oh,
back and watch
SCS
it
I
on
did
that because it was on
always.
demand. But when you record it, you just skip.
Yeah, it is so
My
good.
thing's got a thing where you can set it for 30 seconds to skip. You can set how far.
Oh, that's good.
You can do 3 minutes, but that doesn't quite work. So you press it 3 times, and that's all the adverts.
Oh,
There's usually
that is
three 30-second
decent.
adverts, usually.
You've got this all figured
Oh,
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have. You
look at
obviously
that.
definitely don't watch much live TV.
No,
You can
I
do
hate
that.
adverts. I cannot stand adverts. Just shoved in
Crap
your
up.
face stuff that you're not even interested in.
Nah,
It's just
that's
like,
why the BBC
body
is good.
form. Why do I want to put this? It's
Like,
like-
nah.
They're always louder as well.
Yeah,
My
because you
TV's
know that
worse.
they know that you go to the kitchen to make a brew, so they turn it up.
Yeah,
That's what they do.
it's a nightmare. Nah, it's not. That's why the BBC is so good, isn't it? 'Cause you don't
Yeah,
get
that's
any
why
of that.
Line of Duty as well, like a full hour of content with no adverts.
Oh, I'm
like-
gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
get into it. I might try later.
Some things that you watch when you see the episode, it's actually only like Coronation Street
Mhm.
without the adverts. It's
Oh,
only
yeah.
22 minutes.
Yeah, which is mental, isn't
That's
it?
not a lot of content, really.
I know. I
And a
know.
lot of
It's
adverts.
insane. Do
Oh,
you watch Game of Thrones?
Nah.
No, I've not got into that either.
I watch it.
Watching
Hmm.
SAS,
Oh yeah.
that was the one the adverts on it on for their player Channel
Mm.
4. Those are like you turn it on, you press play, 3.5 minutes of adverts. You're
Yeah.
like, oh my god. I'll
Yeah.
Turn it on sound off and just go and do something else and come
Uh-huh.
back.
I know. So weird. So annoying, isn't it?
But do you know, it just seems surreal sometimes that you've done it now, that you've been on TV and
yeah.
that.
It does seem really weird. Like I randomly, when I was on the plane to Portugal the other day, it was so weird. Like these girls got on a 40th party. They're going to Portugal, and she went, "Oh my god, are you the Red Shepherdess?" And I was like, "Shit!" I was like, "I've had my first."
Have,
Like,
you not, have you been asked for autograph yet?
oh, no, I had selfies here.
Oh,
And that wasn't looking ideal
apparently
either.
Autographs aren't the thing anymore. They
No.
all hold selfies.
I hope not, because my autograph's awful.
It's-
You would never know. But yeah, selfie is the thing. So I was like,
yeah.
I had no makeup on because I was literally just going to Portugal, and I think I had fake tan, so I was like, it was all drying. I know, because I couldn't go to the beach pale, could I? And like compete.
No, heaven
I
forbid.
know. And they were like, "Oh, we have these selfies. You were on SCS," and like I go, "My friends didn't believe me that it was you," and I was like, "Oh my god," that's because I don't have no idea
You're
who I
like,
was.
say something, speak.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's definitely her.
I know. It's so weird. But yeah, it is a bit surreal. It feels like so long ago
Yeah,
that I did it. But I just want something else now. I need to do something else.
yeah. Keep the.
Just
Yeah.
get that kind of feeling back of like being completely like out of control, but so good at the same time.
It's been productive as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like I was saying before, you've got to use this
Mhm.
to for your own advantage. And
Yeah.
Just for,
Yeah, and just see where it goes. It could, I don't know. It could go either way.
well, how would it make you feel being like the new face of farming? Would you embrace that? Or
Oh, of course, I'd embrace it.
Yeah.
I'd just as like ever embrace anything.
Yeah,
Just go with it.
that's good.
As long as it was always used in the right way and it was like for good things and not for.
I mean, I can't even remember how I came across you. It was definitely on social media somewhere, one of the platforms. I can't remember, but I was like, because it was definitely something to do with Cumbria, and I was like, oh, it's Cumbria.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Maybe it was a talk or something. I'm not sure.
But then I went to your website and it's not fully up to date.
No, my website's awful.
24 it said for a start.
Yeah,
so.
that's how outdated it is, isn't it?
But websites aren't as important
that's the thing.
anymore.
I never go on it, and I never.
But if you do get more famous, then it will.
I'm gonna have to update it because there is actually people that do go on it
like
to get information.
A lot of production companies will go probably to your website because they'll think that's usually the most official part of your whole thing.
It so needs updating.
It's a good website though.
Oh, thanks.
Like, did you do it yourself, or did you get someone else to do it?
So my mum and dad have got their own like marketing side of their company too, so they just gave me a hand one day, and we just kind of sat together and got it all.
As long as it was kept up to date, and you've got all your portals to your social media, that's all you need, really.
It is, isn't it? I just have to update the actual information, but it's just so.
When you get so famous, you just get somebody else to do all that.
Yeah, be like, but not my social media ones.
No, because then you'll be on the quad with your dog. Someone will be running along filming you.
Oh yeah, that'd be ideal.
Usually they go, yes, this is better.
I know. I don't need it. Don't need to I don't need to nearly kill myself anymore trying to film it.
That'll be in the paper. She broke a leg trying to do stories on Instagram.
Oh, it's very nearly happened a few times. I've got myself into some sticky situations. I'm like, yeah, this will be an ideal photo for me. So that's a nightmare. And everyone goes, oh, your dog is so beautiful. Like he's so photogenic. And I'm like, you haven't seen how many photos it took. Because as soon as you get the camera out now, he goes like this.
Yeah, both my dogs are exactly the same.
The complete wrong way, and I'm like,
they're there looking at you. Like one will be sat like this, looking at you.
Looking beautiful.
And the shortcut is to double tap your on a Samsung. Double tap the power button, and brings up the camera. It must know the noise. It goes. It just goes.
Yeah, no, and that's it. And even like all the noises in the world you can make to like make him look back, he's like,
no, it's not happening.
Nah. And like photographers come and they want this like beautiful photo of him, and I'm like, if you got the patience of a saint, because you're gonna be here a while getting a photo of him. Because all he'll do then is like either look at me or like look at a sheep. He'll never look at the camera, and they always want him there. Yeah. So I mean, just one of the first world problems I have. You know?
Those sheepdogs are part of your brand now.
They are. My dogs are literally loved more than I am.
They'll have their own Facebook accounts and everything. So
surely one day they will. Like if I don't post about them to like regularly enough, people will message going, "Where's Fraser? How's Fraser? Why haven't we seen Fraser?" I'm like, "He's fine."
Like, there he is.
Yeah, he's right here, look, with me like he is every other day.
Have you seen Max and Paddy in the Lake District?
Yes, they're the Spaniels. Yes, I love them. I follow them all the time.
I've got a Spaniel. So.
Have you?
But we met them a couple of years ago.
Oh, no
just randomly bumped into them when he just started that whole thing.
Yeah. Because he was on the BBC not long ago with them.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was on the one show. I can't remember what it was for, but
I think it was maybe about dogs on Leeds, was it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, maybe. Because they've done similar to what you've done, where they've built up a brand with that. But like all the dogs, they just get given all the free wear and they just tag all the dog food, everything.
Yeah,
it's all sponsored.
So good.
It's a great idea. But some of the photos and the videos that they put up, like I want to try that with my dogs, where they go down to like a jetty on Ullswater.
Oh yeah.
And they throw something, but they film it in slow motion. The dogs.
So good. Some of their content is amazing, isn't it? That they put on there.
We went for a dog photo shoot not so long ago.
Oh no way!
And the photographer does this thing. He didn't do it with our dogs because I don't know why we didn't. We didn't have time, but where he throws treats up in the air.
Oh, and does like it.
Gets a photo of the dog.
Oh my god, they're always such good photos.
Hilarious.
I really want to do one of them.
Dogs going. Like that. Like you get certain shots of their like cheeks like going like this.
Oh my god, that's epic.
Hilarious.
I want some of them of mine.
But you try it. You got iPhone?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got the slow-mo.
The slow-mo, it's hilarious on dogs.
Yeah, because I've got them jumping. When have I got them? I got one jumping out the water trough and like shaking everywhere. It's so good. And I've got one like ragging like a toy around.
Some of the accounts that people have got of pets, like millions of followers.
Yeah,
and
it's unreal. Pets go like insane.
You can understand why.
Like they get become like the most famous things.
Like the videos of like the typical cats, like the most popular cat videos are titled like "Cats knocking shit over."
Yeah.
It's just like, and someone puts it on there, the cat just goes.
Yeah.
So you put it back on, the cat just goes.
No, I don't want it
there. Dog versus cat on the landing.
Yes.
The cat just stood there. And this big dog, it's just there trying to get up the stairs. The dog's just like shit scared, just going. It's like it could eat the cat for breakfast. It's like, no, I can't. And then when they do it, because the one I watched, it showed you the build-up, but it didn't show you what happened. But at the end, it showed you all the results. And half of them, like the dog would sort of run past the cat, and the cat would go.
Yeah,
just
swipe
claw
it.
at it. Like, I'm just going to get you as you go past.
They're little horrors, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're
cats.
such horrors.
Well, you see them, you drive past and you see them in windows just going, I'm
Yeah.
going to kill you
I
one
know.
day.
They have that evil glare, don't they?
You never get that with dogs.
No.
Dogs just like, I love you, give me
So
some attention,
happy.
please.
I know. Although our 3 cats are not normal cats. Like, they all grew up with the dogs, like, from when they were tiny. So, like, one of them will, like, cuddle into the dogs, like, literally, like, spoon them. And then the other 2, like, my sister's golden retriever, literally will put her whole mouth around its head, and the cat will just, the cat just sits there, like, or, like, it'll probably, like, play with it, and, like, it'll chase it down everywhere, and it like, it's weird, it loves it. And I'm like,
God.
but honestly, it'll just sit there with his whole mouth around his head, and it'll just be like, oh, just chilling. It's weird.
I'm at my Springer Alfie, he just wags his tail. He's happy all the time. Like
Springers are so happy though, aren't they?
drinking water, wagging his tail, eating his dinner, wagging his tail. He'll just be sat in the outside and like today in the garden, just sat in the sun, just with his eyes shut, with his tails wagging.
That's the best thing about spaniels, eh? I've got a cocker spaniel. She's just like so happy as well. What colour's yours?
He's liver and white,
Oh, nice.
the
That's
normal
the best
colour. He's an
ones.
English Springer Spaniel.
Oh, that's so
he's
cute.
retired police dog.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's,
that's cool.
very well trained, but he's nuts. But you wouldn't have
So
it any other
cute.
way.
Nah, never. They bring so much to the table, don't
But
they?
yeah, when I was a kid and we had a sheepdog, when my parents gave it away,
Oh, yeah.
but they didn't tell me.
Oh, no. Was it
Which-
devastating?
It was, but it was probably for the best. 'cause
Yeah.
It just wasn't the right place.
No.
I'm glad 'cause it got sent to a farm, so
Yeah, and
couldn't
we
have
like
ended up in a
living
better
the
place.
dream
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
but that was probably the best thing they could. I was devastated, but
Well,
because I was only like 8,
Yeah, well, you don't understand them.
we had it
either,
from a
do
pup,
you?
and it was only like I think it was nearly 2.
Oh.
I was just like,
Become such a big part of your life, though, don't they?
yeah, I know.
That you forget, like when I've not had the dog up, say I've been like somewhere else, and you walk through the door, and you don't have that big like waggy tail coming to meet you.
Yeah, that's
It's
weird.
so weird. It's
Like
horrible.
if the dogs are out somewhere,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
Like your house
just
feels
feels
like
wrong.
dead and quiet. And
sat there like,
I know.
why isn't someone licking my leg?
Yeah.
What's going on?
exactly. Mine like some like sleep on the bed and everything, and I'm like, if they're not there, I'm like, no, this is not right. It's weird. I had a spaniel and a French bulldog on there last night. No, the French bulldog, by the way, never get one of them. Bloody hell! It snores louder than any human being. I know.
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah.
unreal, and it farts all the time. It stinks.
Yeah, and then you just like, oh my god. And it's literally sometimes that bad. It's like a punch in the face.
Yeah, it smells like an actual poo.
Yeah,
Come
you're
out.
like,
Oh,
someone shit. Someone
Man.
has.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It's like the funniest dog I've ever. Like, it's my boyfriend's actually, but
Right.
he's away, so I've got it currently for these 5 weeks. And like he's the funniest thing. Like I've never known like a dog of so much like character and personality. But man alive, he stinks. Stinks. But I mean, he's comical, but he stinks. Like it's
I've
ringing.
got some people said some questions about things that I've got to
Oh really?
mention. Most of it was about SAS, obviously. What was the food like? What did you eat while you were there?
Oh, in the morning it was porridge. I used to hate porridge before I went on SES, and now I absolutely love it.
I imagine it's some like
It
high
reminds
protein
me-
stuff.
It was like cement. It depends. I think it was minging. Honestly, it was disgusting. Come on. Honestly, I think
It's a bit
different
like
people.
cardboard flavoured, you know.
Oh,
like-
no, I'm not. It was like, and I think people like different people must have made it every day. Because like some days you'll get the cementy, and then sometimes it'd be all right, but it'd be completely like flavourless. So it was, and you had to put salt in it because you were losing so much salt. So the doctor, he's there all the time. He's like, you have to put salt on everything that you eat.
Right.
So, and then it was that like I was literally in the end having to chop up apple and like just plonk it in there so it had some kind of flavour.
Yeah.
So that was like that, and then
As I saw people eating apples and fruit and that when you were in the
we'd
in the room
stash them.
sometime. Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah, so they'd like give us like loads, and if we hadn't eaten them all, we'd just take them with us. We
Yeah.
learnt that quite quick on the first couple of days. We didn't take anything with us. Like we used to get like bread or ham and that as well, and we used to literally just try and make like our own butties, and like we didn't have anything to put them in, so we just had to put them in the bag as it was.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean it
You'll
was
survive.
just exactly. And then lunchtime it'd be kind of like a sandwich or a wrap. That'd be kind of pretty much it. And then in the night time, they did feed you quite well in the night. It was always like a meat and a lot of carbs.
Yeah.
Like one day I had like pasta, bread and rice all in one go, and I was like, what the hell? How am I going to eat all of these like at once?
But if you've been burning a lot of calories,
Sometimes
can
you're
eat a lot.
hungry and sometimes you literally just couldn't make
You're just
yourself
so
eat anything.
exhausted.
Yeah, it was just a whole mixture. And then as you got further through and closer to interrogation, they just cut everything off quite a lot.
right?
So like the last 24
Oh,
hours
right, yeah.
before, I think I had a bag of nuts. I went in for breakfast and there was a bowl of fruit between like 10 of us, and I was like, one piece each. I was like, no.
They're testing you there.
Yeah,
Properly.
and then all we had then was a bag of nuts each. That was it.
Wow.
I know, and then at 2 a.m.
So that's what's leading up to, isn't it?
Yeah, and then 2
Hungry,
a.m. they
tired,
got us.
at your worst. They get
Yeah.
you at your worst. See what
Hell,
you're
there was
made of.
nothing left in the tank at the end. But yeah, so it wasn't bad food. It was just, and it made me appreciate porridge. I love porridge now.
There
I have
you
it like
go.
nearly every morning now.
There you go.
But it was disgusting in there. It was such an effort to eat it. It was like this.
They're like thick.
So thick. It just didn't. It was just, yeah. I'm not joking. It was like cement. It was just like not. It was like sticky. Just a sticky lump.
What was the sort of recovery time after you did like one of those huge tasks? Did they let you go back and just chill, or?
No, no. Sometimes it was straight into another one, or
Oh God.
sometimes you'd be maybe back for. It changed all the time. You were never normally back for more than like an hour
Right.
or an hour and a half, very very max. Or like someday you'd come out and you'd have your tea then, but then you never relax because you're like, surely they're gonna get us out to do something else now. They're gonna get us out and beast us around the parade square, and then for the last 2 days, because it normally only goes on for 9 days, all the other series in 9 days. I got to the 9th day and I was like, get on. I'm going to get interrogated later on today and it's going to be amazing. I've made it to this point.
It's going to be amazing. It's really not.
At this point, I wanted to sit down. I didn't want any more physical. I was like, I had nothing left in the tank. And then it didn't happen. Then I got to day 10 and I was like, still here. We're doing even more. It's got ramped up even higher. And then it got to day 11 and I was like, God, what is going on? They give us the brief like 2 or 3 days before of what you had to learn for your cover story and your real story. So we're like going over it and over it and over it. Didn't make
So
no
I've not
difference.
seen this. So what's?
So what they give you a cover story and they give you a real story. So your cover story is what you're doing there. So it was looking for lost tourists.
Right. Is this for the interrogation?
Yeah.
Right.
And then the real story was that we were military looking for a weapons cache.
Right.
But we all made this pact that we wouldn't give away the real story. And we just, no matter what happened, we wouldn't give it away and we'd stick to this story. So stupid. It was honestly the most naive thing we ever did in there because it's their job. Like, they're professional
get out of
interrogators.
you.
They do this to people all the time.
You thought you could just
We
you
thought
lot
we'd
just
just-
band together and like we'll beat them.
Yeah, and we'll just
easy.
stand there solitary and be like, nah,
I'm not saying anything.
yeah,
Zip.
nah.
You can't make me talk.
Oh, yeah,
Here's a bacon
literally.
sandwich. I'll tell you everything.
Yeah, it's just, literally. And then, so I didn't even really learn the real story. I thought, don't need to learn it, don't even need to know. And then it got spilt in the interrogation. Someone spilt it. And then I was like, they pulled me in. Then they're like, you're going to have to tell us more. And I was like, I generally can't tell you anymore. Because
So did
I
they?
didn't know
They
anymore.
told you that other people had slipped up.
they got us in against each other all the time. So they don't actually show you any of this even in the thing.
Right.
They got us in the end, there was only 5 of us left that made it in decent way through the interrogation. And they get you in, and it was the same thing as in the parade square. Who do you trust the least? Who do you think is giving the most information away? Who is shit? Who do you trust the most? And you had to answer it all against each other. And they were like torture some people with like the freezing cold water. And one point, like I was in there, and it was the first time they put us all in the room together and took my hood off, and they left everyone else's on. And then he was like, you fucking stay here. I'm going out this room. You're in charge. And I was like, just sat on it. I'd love to see it back because I was just there, like, and I was trying to read people's numbers to work out who was still here and who wasn't. And there was like food and water on the table. And he comes smashing back through the door and he went, what fucking kind of team player are you? You're not giving them any water and food. And I was like, because they had still had everything on. And I was like, what the hell was he going to do? Honestly, they would have been howling watching it on the behind the screen thing because I was just literally like, would have been like this. I didn't even know what to do. And they went mental. And then they would like pick them out going, would you have done that? Would you have left your teammates to starve when you could see that there was food there? And then some of them were like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, little buggers, why are you lying?
Could have said something.
I know, yeah. So, there's so much of the interrogation process that you don't see.
You're like, can I get a copy of the extended
Which,
version, please?
I know, I'd love to see some of the things. Or just see some of like where I'm jumping off the bridge and...
It's the kind of thing where I'm thought, do not bring it out on DVD and Blu-ray and stuff.
They won't let you. I think it's for copyright reasons and for stuff getting leaked.
No, I mean, they should bring it out themselves.
Oh, yeah, I know, they should too, definitely.
With all the extras.
I know, honestly, because it'd be so good.
They'd sell bucket loads.
I know. literally loads, but they won't.
The extras would be as long as the actual show.
Oh, more. Honestly, it's insane. Like, for the interrogation to be 20 hours and to be put into 52 minutes,
It's ridiculous.
like insane.
That's kind of annoying, really.
It is annoying because there's so much you don't see.
So what was it? What was the breaking point for you then?
I didn't break. They just pulled me out then.
Yeah. That's what you
Half
said
an hour
before,
before, and said, because I didn't have any more information to tell them, they said in real life, as a hostage, they would have just killed me because I was no use to them anymore. Yeah. So I was quite happy.
Should have learnt your real story.
I know, that's the issue. I was like, in there, I just wanted to go to them. I didn't learn it because I didn't think it was going to happen. But couldn't say that. But I came out and I knew that I'd done it, that I'd messed up because Ant stood there and I was like, I fucked up, didn't I? And then he just went, yeah, you did a bit, mate. And he gave me, it was so lovely. He gave me like 7 like hugs and he was dead nice. And
because in a way, it's your success, really. It's not really.
No, I'm happy because I said that when I went in there, I would never quit, and so that's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to get to the interrogation to understand what it was like. And I came out of it, and me and Louise actually were like quite happy and smiling out of it, where the others come out a complete like wreck.
Yeah.
So I mean, after it, I was happy because it showed that I was still mentally strong in there. I just messed it up a little bit, but.
It was weird. Those first 4 episodes, it's just like, are
know.
they deliberately editing her out on purpose?
I know.
I was like,
I know.
Like I said, there were scenes where you like just about to talk, and they'd just cut to someone else.
Yeah, it's so mental. And they'd ring me because every week they'd call you to say what your line was in there, and mine would be like, "You got like 2 lines in this one." I'm like, "Oh, great, thanks, cheers."
What, they've managed to edit you in?
Yeah, actually in a couple. But yeah, I didn't go on it to go on the telly and be on it massive at a time. I got everything that I wanted to get out of it. I did get out of it in terms of like learning about me and seeing what like Mike had been through and like
you're pushing your
pushing
breaking
like
points and
beyond like so much further than what I ever thought was possible. And like you learn so much how to like just control your head. But your body would make you your head would make you stop so much quicker than your body is capable if you let it. And that's what I learned the most. And just to kind of embrace it when you're scared, just to kind of just embrace it and do it and not waste energy being fearing something that's not even happening yet. Yeah. Because you waste so much time in life and so much energy like worrying about something that's not even happening or going to happen.
Worrying about things that you can't change.
Yeah, exactly.
Worrying about things you can't do anything about.
Yeah, it's like worry about it when you're right in that moment then and then forget about it straight away again.
Yeah, stuff that's happened. You're
exactly.
Like, it's done.
It's done and it's gone and it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah,
forget
it.
You
can do about it. So
and everything becomes so much more enjoyable when you think about it that way.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely loved jumping off the bridge backwards. Like it was so good.
You weren't on.
I wasn't on that. I wasn't on any of those big things.
All the ones she was in them. You could see her in the background. But no, they didn't show her doing that one.
They didn't show me do any of the activities.
Didn't show you the one where they were going across
the ladder.
Yeah,
I did that twice.
They didn't show you on that one.
No, I went the first time doing that, and then because I jumped off the bridge the day before. Was it the day before? Jumped off the bridge and I had a little thing with Ant and I jumped. He talks about this thing called a fear bubble, and it's the same thing of not fearing about something until you're in that bubble in that moment. Yeah. And I'd been to see him in a talk before I went to SS, and he talked about this fear bubble, and I learned about it, and I was like, whoa, that resonates so well. It's amazing. So I was ready in my position to jump off, and then they said to jump, and I just looked at Ant in the eyes and just went, fear bubble. I just jumped. And then I got back up to the top and he went, that was fucking cool, number 25. I was like,
number 25,
thanks. So then when it got to the bridge thing, he just called me up first. He went, number 25, you come here. Like, and then he was like, you know all about the fear bubble, just go for it, blah, blah. And I ran across it. And Billy just went, fucking hell, you ran across that like a little scouse through a rat, didn't you? I was like, I think that's a compliment.
I'm slightly offended by that.
I know. I was like, I think it's a compliment in there somewhere. I was with Billy this weekend. I know. I was with Billy this weekend, and he's such a nice man now.
Yeah.
Literally, one of them.
I think they probably all are, are
they? Yeah, they are. But
they've just got to be twats to you on the show in the process.
Yeah. But as you got further down, you did start to see the personalities a little bit more, and they gave you a little bit. Once you do earn their respect, I guess, and but Billy, what a nice man. Honestly, like the most humble man I've ever met. So is Ollie and Foxy as well. Yeah. And is a little bit more different.
Bit reserved, more reserved.
Yeah.
So when you did the walking across the ladder, you just nailed that one then.
Yeah. So Ant was meant to stop me in the middle and tell me to do the squat thing
and down.
Yeah.
And then up. All of them kept. When he'd say up, they'd start going again. He's like, what? I didn't say go.
I know. So I went first, and I just went right across it, and he didn't tell me to stop, so I just kept going. And then they were like, "You have to do it again now because you didn't do the squat."
You have to go back across.
I had to go round the way we came.
Oh my god!
And then go back across to do it again. But honestly, like I didn't really care.
Because some of them obviously struggle because they don't like heights. And
Yeah, some of it was a big thing.
Especially the bigger, heavier people. They were like, when they get to the middle, like, oh.
Like James was
it's
like
the crouching
6'4".
Yeah, like,
yeah.
oh
Like centre of gravity is so high.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh my god!" But it was one of them things that most of the things he taught you, if you literally listened to what they were saying and the technique, you could smash it. Like all it was like leaning into the rope more, and you could just go straight across it. It was like simple little things like that.
I find that with most things that you do, if you're talking to someone who's like an expert, that's what they do. Listen, just take their advice. Don't think like you know how to know best, because why would you?
Exactly.
But so you get that a lot of people like, it's stubborn. And they're like, I'm gonna do it my way.
Exactly.
Fail.
The first scariest one was when we went to do the walk down the cliff forwards, face forwards. That was the big, like, scarier one. Because that was the first time it was like anything high and you were literally facing the ground. It was the weirdest thing, like popping yourself over and being like, all right, like quite tall, like small down there, and I'm like all the way up here. And it was hard because you have like a safety line on you as well. Mm-hmm. It creates quite a lot of friction, so trying to get like the momentum to actually move. But again, you just gotta listen. Like, in the end, I ended up running down it, and Billy's going, "Fucking hell, she's actually fucking running down it." I'm like, yes, I am.
Because they do give you a lot of advice, but sometimes
they do, sometimes they don't.
Well, but sometimes when it's like being able to take that in while you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, like, and you're watching people ahead of you go, and you're like, if you've got someone who's nervous in front of you, trying to control your head again, and not let that bother you.
Do you spend a lot of time like watching the people learning like from other people? Like, oh my god, I'm not going to do
that. yeah. It depends literally where you were in the process as well. Like it was so different every time.
You just didn't know what to expect either. Like
you just don't know.
You every day when they were doing something, that was when you found out about it.
Oh yeah, like when we got to the location of where we were going.
Right. So like literally that day, like you're doing this today.
Oh no, like they literally just say get on the wagon, and then we'd get on the wagon and we'd turn up somewhere.
All right, so you wouldn't even. Oh, okay.
And then they'd be like, carry that log up the hill. That was disgusting. That log up the hill. Holy cow! Like that was a whole different. These are the things I forget when I talk about it. What happened? What I've actually done.
Yeah.
That was disgusting. And I was like, I saw the log, and I was like, yes, we did the log at Tribal Clash. I love the log. I thought it was gonna be like squats and that, and like just like team kind of stuff like that. No, take up the feckin' massive mountain up there. It was brutal.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, we smashed it but it was so hard. And
even that, I've still got that image because you were in the background of one of the shots where at the beginning where they were holding the.
Oh, that was after we fucked up, didn't we? We left the bras on.
And it was just, I forgot about that because everyone's going, I'm just going to leave mine on.
Yeah, I left mine on. Mike said before I went, whatever you do, just keep your head down and like don't draw too much attention to yourself. And I thought, well, that's tricky with red hair for a start. So I was like, oh my god, right, I'll try. And then what's he going to do? The first day, did the icy water.
Yeah, that was right
thing.
at the beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was a bit of a shock to the system at that point because you forget, like watching it on the telly, like the whole production crew's there. Yeah. Like all your new mates of 25 are there. All the DS and that are like there, like Ollie and Billy and all that. And you're just about there to get naked. And you're like, oh my gosh. So I was like, I'll just leave my bra on, it'll be fine. And then all of a sudden.
Because they showed the clip of someone saying that. I don't know if it was Petra or it was someone saying, no, I'm leaving this on. As if they were like being sneaky sort of thing. But obviously the water just showed through your clothes, so it was obvious. And
he's going, you think you've got fucking tits, it makes a difference, it makes you fucking special. I was like, every other word was a swear word now, honestly.
But there was reasons why you're not supposed to do that, because it's like you need to be dry.
Well, yeah.
It's like a survival thing.
You would not survive a minute if you had this on and out in the water. And I was like, for God's sake. I was like, for goodness sake, Hannah, why don't you just take your freaking bra off? And then that was it then. You very quickly learned that you had no shame. So just to get rid of any shame
There's no time for that. There's no time for shame or vanity or anything out the window.
I mean, the amount of nakedness there was the whole time.
I know they did a bit at the beginning when like people had to strip off when you were getting changed at the very beginning. And I was like, I bet that happened all the time.
All the time. Like every time there was a water thing. Yeah. And like even in like the accommodation,
wet clothes off, dry clothes on.
Yeah, and even like in the accommodation, it was cameras everywhere.
Yeah,
and like sometimes it's so weird. Like you'd be like, they spun.
You're like, oh, I can feel like that camera's watching.
And it's like, oh, I'll get changed now because the cameras aren't looking. And then all of a sudden you'd be like, and I'm like, who's on the other end of the camera right now? Like, what's going on? But they had like psychologists watching like 24 hours a day and like shifts as well, like to check everything. It was they did it very serious.
See, because that could have been part of the program as well. The psychologists commenting on
and say that's what would be so good. Like
Like, have you ever seen The Secret Life of 5-Year-Olds?
Yes. Oh, I love that. It's so good.
That gave you an insight to like
Yeah.
stuff that you wouldn't like. You're watching it, but you weren't thinking. Oh,
Yeah,
I never
yeah,
even
yeah.
thought of that.
It honestly would be so good to like literally watch
The reason,
their
the reason
thought
she's
process.
saying that, the reason he's not done
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
because
yeah.
of, you know what I mean? It's
Because
like,
it's funny because like Ant and all the four of them, they can't see the footage inside. Only
Right.
the production crew can see, and the
right.
psychologist and the doctor can see. So they literally don't know anything about you unless on the letter that you write at the beginning. Which you
right.
can choose
It's
what
like
to
it's
give
like,
away.
It's almost like your CV, innit?
Yeah, it is. You can choose what to give away or not give away.
Yeah.
So it's completely like, up to
But I
your
think
discretion.
they want you to be more open and honest, and they want you to let out
Yeah,
as much as possible.
yeah, because you're there at the same time to develop as a person as well.
Yeah.
And that's what people forget sometimes, I think.
I think in those extreme situations, if you're going to get to know these people, you've got to be honest with each other.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to tell them everything.
Yeah,
For
and
that trust.
Yeah,
Sort of thing.
and like, but like you get in there and you can't do anything apart from tell the truth because they've just got this way about them. And they
Yeah,
could get
yeah.
anything out of anyone,
It's definitely.
and it just pops out, and you're like, oh. I mean, I didn't even have a story, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That was my issue as well. I didn't have a decent like big story. I think they wanted the angle because it's all about women coming into a male world of the SAS.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing now, whether it's going to be allowed or not allowed. So they wanted that kind of comparison of it.
But I think that went
being in
well from a women's perspective.
Oh yeah, I think so.
I think that should just.
Yeah, no.
Well, there was one point when there was 5 women and 4 men left.
Yeah, that was
On
it. Yeah, in the last
second,
episode.
The one I'm on.
Yeah.
I was like, there you go.
Yeah, and then I think to the final it was 3 men and two of us women that technically did the full
end,
thing.
To the end, anyway. Yeah.
But just didn't pass. God damn.
So I think that'll just continue to be a mixture. I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm not sure what will happen in the real world.
So had you watched it the previous series anyway? Were you aware of it? Well aware of it? The program.
I was obsessed with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh no, I was very obsessed with it. I loved it.
Right. I think I saw a bit of the last one, but
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, I hadn't really.
Oh no, I don't know why I was obsessed with it. Just I don't know. I didn't like when I even got there. I didn't even mind the shouting or anything like that. I was like, go shout at me. Okay. I've got like farmers shouting at me all the time when they get stressed, and you just gotta go over your head.
Yeah. Did you see a program that was called Eden? That was on a couple of
No,
years
I don't
ago
think
about
I
people
did.
on an island, a typical thing on an island, but they were there for like a long period of time. It was meant to be filmed
Oh.
over a lot. They had
That
to
would be
like
cool.
they had to like do their own farm. One was like a doctor. One was like a builder, a carpenter. They had a mixture of people. A
Oh.
doctor.
That's cool.
And had to, but it was difficult. The clash of personalities.
Yeah.
But
Which
they
they do on purpose.
needed to try and get past that.
Yeah.
Because you've got to survive.
Yeah,
Literally, in an island in the middle of nowhere, all the footage was
hell.
like attached. There was no crew there.
that's cool.
There was like a ship a few miles
Oh
offshore.
yeah, they kind of
with,
watched
like,
it.
supplies
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
medical people if something happened.
Yeah.
But they were literally,
No
and then they
way.
started like separating. Like people started
Oh,
going,
like-
"Oh fuck you, lot, I'm going over here." And he'd start because
Oh,
they
no.
set out all these rules to like, which they all agreed on, but then people slowly started doing their own thing. Like
Yeah, the personalities start
the
coming
big
out
thing was
more and-
food.
Oh yeah,
How
food's
people
always a
change
big thing
when
they're
food's
hungry.
in short supply. It
Yeah.
just, people always
Mhm.
have a bit extra, you know. Oh, these things that we have in the ration have just suddenly disappeared.
Yeah, where have they gone?
It's
Yeah.
just like, oh.
Oh, it's crazy what like a lack of food can do to
It
people.
made for good TV though.
Oh yeah,
It's kind of like because obviously Big Brother,
Uh-huh.
but I watched Big Brother the first one. Which
Oh,
was in
yeah.
2000.
yeah.
But it
See, I
was
saw one
brilliant.
of the early ones. And the early
Absolutely
ones were
brilliant
decent, weren't
because no one knew what it was about,
they? Mm-hmm.
and people were just there innocently, just as an experiment.
Yeah.
But then it was kind of people just get there just for the 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, it's changed now, hasn't it?
I couldn't watch it like that.
It's
but
rubbish
the
now.
first two were like brilliant,
Yeah.
and you were watching these confrontations between people. You're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I can't believe you said that.
It was a proper like psychological experiment in the end, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And like
was it Nasty Nick?
Nasty Nick.
Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Ah,
My mum used
you
to
guys are
love
too.
it.
You guys are too young.
I was gonna say I wouldn't be very old at that point.
25,
26.
26. No, you're both
Yeah.
saying it, yeah,
We would have been like
don't
8,
remember.
I think.
But it was like one of the rules was you're not allowed to discuss
Oh.
voting and stuff like that. And he'd been putting people against each other and saying this
No
person
way.
said this about you,
Oh yeah,
trying
in
to
the
manipulate the votes.
Shit.
And it got cut off. And then it was the first time they were all around the table and they just started going at it, like having it, like really letting it out.
No way.
It was like I just remember I was sat
Oh
on my
my
bed
God.
just going, oh my god, and I was just there for like an hour,
Yeah.
just going, this is brilliant.
That is so mental, isn't it?
And then the next year, it just gradually got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And once you've seen one, it's just like
That's the thing,
I'm
isn't
done.
it? I
But
know.
that SAS thing, I probably will start watching that all the
Oh
time.
yeah,
now, 'cause
it's so
that's
good.
it's real.
It is real. And they did
not-
the celebrity version. It's just been on. That was
Yeah,
okay.
I saw a bit of that.
Yeah. It was okay.
It was all right.
It was good. It was for charity, wasn't
But
it?
it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
No, it wasn't the same.
But like what you've done, that's real people being pushed to their absolute limits.
And there's no drama. There's no like everyone's like, oh, what was it like with the production crew? There was no retake at all. Like,
no, I wouldn't.
If they miss it, they miss it. Like if they don't get it on film, then it's gone. They've got it. Like,
can you run all the way back up that mountain and carrying that thing again, please? Can you jump in that freezing water again?
I know exactly. And they're like,
didn't quite catch your face as you did it.
You know. And not at one point did we ever like stop for them or.
No.
And tell you what, they're fit. Like them for like cameramen were running with us. And I was like, at one point, I was in a bit of a hole dragging this sled, and I was like literally just watching my foot in front of another foot. And it was the only way that I was getting through it.
Don't look at what it's ahead.
Yeah.
Just
And all of a sudden, this cameraman was in front of me, and every time like I was stepping forward, he was stepping back. All I could see was his feet, and I was like, "Can you please get out of my way?" Because like literally stood in the ground that I want to go into, and I can't get it in, get it out of my head. And I was like, "Please just get out of my way!" And then I just got in like a mood, and I like shoved past him, and I was like, "Get out of my way."
Did you end up talking to them much then?
We weren't allowed any communication with them.
Oh right.
No.
Wow.
I think it was on like the second to last day. Do you know we did the ice? You've seen the ice hole one?
Which
I had to go under the ice twice.
No,
we got a helicopter up to there because it was really high.
I think I'm just up to that bit.
Yeah, maybe.
I've not seen it.
And it was just me left to get the helicopter back down, and somebody was talking to me, and then I just heard on the radio, "Can you stop talking to the recruit, please?" I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I'm just up to that bit where you've just all dropped. There's a big hole in the water. He said, "This, you'll die if you don't."
Yeah, that was cold.
So you have to go down one and then out the other.
Twice. Yeah,
Right.
so like down, up.
So what's the survival technique for that?
Breathe. Just control your breathing,
Don't,
and then
don't panic like they did in that pool.
control your breathing, swim under, and then they asked you loads of questions then to make sure that you were still like
Conscious.
thinking.
Yeah.
Although we couldn't answer any of them.
All right.
Like it was like, what colour was the helicopter you flew in? What number was written on the side? And I was like, bollocks. We should have like this is what you're meant to pay attention to in the special forces.
I thought it was just like easy questions and what you're still like complimentary.
my
Like,
God,
what
no.
colour's your hair? Green.
I got what did they say to me on mine? He went, who plays for Liverpool Football Club? And I
Couldn't think of a single player.
No, do you know what I said? Steven Gerrard. I was like, and then I just burst out laughing. This is why I don't put mine on because I laugh too much and I smile.
Yeah, we can't have people enjoying themselves while doing this. It's not right.
This is my issue. And then I went back down again, and he went, "Who's the manager for Liverpool Football Club?" And I was like, "He's German." I was like, I have no idea. And then it's literally like you get out and you roll in the snow to dry yourself off.
That's.
Which is weird, isn't it?
Oh, this is nice and warm. This.
Oh, it's so weird.
That's a Bear Grylls move, that.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'm
Bear
freezing.
Grylls.
I need to cool off
Yeah.
in the snow.
Literally. But it actually weirdly works. And then we had to run then and get changed again. But yeah, mental. But yeah, I think I did smile too much on most of the things I did.
Not supposed to enjoy it.
No, you're going to be like shitting one. I was a lot of the time. You can nearly see me cry in the boxing one. I'm in like the corner like this.
Yeah, there was a couple of that where I could see in the background, and like obviously something's happened, but we don't know what it is. And one of them you were either nearly crying, the other one you were like, I thought you were gonna pass out.
Yeah, was that the boxing? Was that all the boxing?
Probably was, yeah.
Probably was,
because it was you were indoor then, inside.
Yeah,
this little
it
hut
would be
thing.
the
You were
boxing
just in
one.
the corner of the wall, just going.
Yeah. So it was like literally after I just watched Louise be like smashed to the ground 3 times by a man, and I was like, oh my god.
Because there is women in the SAS now, isn't there? Or is it just about to be?
So I think they can start applying now.
Yeah,
but it's going to be a long time.
I mean, it's just been in the news about they're going to start the whole process to that.
For them to be like in the infantry and on the front line, and it's taken a long time.
There's no reason why not.
There's a whole load of controversial stuff about how it will affect relationships and how it will affect heads when they're out there. Will it make people?
That's the same as men, though.
Yeah, my theory in my head is if you put men and women through training together and you put them in teams together, then there should be no difference.
Yeah.
It's maybe if you put women into all men teams that have always been all men, then that's maybe where you'll get
the whole
more.
process from beginning to end should be just mixed.
Yeah, if you do that from there and then just keep those teams as the mixed teams, and if women can keep up with the standards that you need to be in there, then there's no reason why they shouldn't. I mean, I spoke to Sundeep's the doctor, and he'll say how he thinks that like women are mentally ridiculously tough and so strong. Like,
absolutely. Well,
they
like
can deal
things
with
like childbirth that men don't have to deal with.
I know, and just like actually dealing with emotions and dealing with situations, like later on after it's happened, they're so much better at actually compartmentalizing it and moving on.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It'll be a long time, I think, till any woman makes it through that way. But
they will.
I think they will.
The way the world's going, there's no reason
And it
why.
won't be. It'll be a very small selection of women that do. But it's the same as the men. There's only the top 5 men in the military. It's
well, they keep going on about all this, banging on about this equality stuff, but it's like there's just not as many people. There's not as many women doing it.
No.
So therefore, it can't be.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a lot of these things where they want in certain jobs we want equal men and women. Yeah, but then you're just going to end up with you're just going to put
people that aren't
women
doing
in
the job properly
for numbers who aren't good enough just because you want it to be the same. That doesn't work.
That's my issue with like equality and all that jazz. Like, you forget actually who's the best at the job.
Yeah.
And
or some like we want more black people doing this, but what if black people don't want to do it?
Yeah.
Don't just put them in there
if
to
they
make
don't
up the
want to be a
numbers.
policeman, or what if they don't want to? It's insane.
It's just
like society's going a bit mental that way. It needs to go back to the fact that actually you need the best person at that job at that time.
Just let people do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Like, give them the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
But don't just do it for numbers' sake.
Yeah.
Because then you're just going to shoot yourself in the foot at some point.
It's so crazy. It's absolutely mental.
Like, the SAS will be like that, but they're not going for equality. They're just going for the best people.
Yeah.
Which is what you should always do.
Yeah, which is like in literally only the top 5% of people.
Yeah. I mean, it will be more. I suppose it will become more of an achievement for women just because there's less of them doing it.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's a tougher route to get there.
Yeah.
Less opportunity.
And
but
technically, we aren't physically built to kind of the same amount.
Yeah, that's why they don't like in like MMA. They don't like men fight women because they're just built differently.
Yeah.
It's an unfair advantage.
And that's one of the main reasons that they put across for worrying about women being in there. So I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what way.
But if women want to do it, they should be allowed to do it.
Yeah, they should.
That's what I think.
Definitely.
There's no reason why they can't. They've proven.
Yeah, I know.
Some women are they're just genetically they can do it.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically.
Yeah.
And some
definitely.
aren't, and some want to do it.
Yeah.
So they don't have to.
And they don't need to. Yeah, that's exactly it. Well, exactly it. We'll see if it actually happens.
How long have we been going?
2 hours.
Have we?
Yeah. Boom.
Hellfire. The mouth's not even sore yet either.
I don't think there's anything else I needed to ask you.
2 hours? Bloody hell.
I
Does
got
this
a lot
get
of
edited out at any point?
No editing.
Oh, so it's me going bloody hell.
We don't do any editing.
That's alright then.
Try not to. Some people are big on editing. Like they waste time on editing, like ums and ahs and stuff. And it's like, but
then
it's
it'd be less
conversation.
natural then, won't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
You don't want it to be like a robot, where you just like.
I mean, if you have, it depends. You should have the right guests on. Do your research, because if you've got some bumbling and you're going, you know this thing.
It could be a very long 2 hours, couldn't it? If you
some people are maybe not used to hearing their own voice as much.
Yeah.
Go, do I sound like that? Do I say that all the time?
Yeah. It is weird though when you listen to yourself back, isn't it?
Have you had obviously with?
Yeah,
with
I used to cringe at the
now,
beginning. I did used to cringe, but now I'm just used to hearing it now.
Like on the SAS when you heard yourself talking, it's just
yeah, no, it was fine.
It's
Because I'd done the BBC thing a lot by then. And
yeah. So what have you done so far, BBC wise? What else have you done?
So they followed us. They've been on BBC for the Young Farmers Award thing, which so that was Farmers Country Showdown.
Yeah.
And then BBC Inside Out.
All right, yeah.
Did like a 10-minute feature, so that was aired in like up north and over Newcastle way, and then it was aired northwest, so Merseyside, Liverpool, and that. So yeah, so it was because it was weird when I was at Body Power this weekend. All of a sudden, I kept getting all these like followers really quick, and I was like, "What's going on?" And they'd replayed one of the BBC things that night, and everyone's going, "Good luck with the award," and I'm like, "It was last." Like September, they've just put it on the telly again. Obviously, they just needed to fill a little bit of a gap in.
Good old BBC.
I know. I was like, this is so weird because I was like, what's going on? And I was going, you're on the telly, and I'm like, I haven't filmed anything to go on the telly yet. Like this might be things in the pipeline, but nothing that's on to go in.
Yeah.
And then someone said it was the award, and I was like, oh, okay. We're going back a few months. But yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us. It's been great to meet you and talk to you.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
I'll probably have you on again down the line when you've done more stuff.
Yeah, sounds epic.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
I will.
Making farming look fun and glamorous.
Yeah. chatting rubbish sometimes, and sometimes decent.
It's real.
It's real.
You can tell it's like it's you doing what you love.
Yeah.
And if it makes other people want to do it, then
exactly. Great. Or even if it just makes people realise that actually you can do whatever you want to do. doesn't have to be farming.
Yeah, because you almost went down a certain path and then just
yeah,
now I'm doing this.
yeah, exactly, and that you can make it happen, and no matter what you.
I've always thought like people, especially young people, it's really difficult for them to expect them to know what they want to do until they can try. There's no, people like GCSEs, then A levels, and then go to uni, certain things. But I know some people have done all that, then they end up doing something completely different.
Exactly.
So it's almost like they've wasted all that time.
Exactly, and there needs to be a little bit less pressure off, like young people, and just let them grow as a person, really, so they can actually decide what it is they actually really love.
Sort of forced to. You must do this.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
why?
Yeah, like I was always lucky that I knew from and it's obvious from a tiny age that I was gonna definitely work with animals. I mean, I've changed
the route
type of animals along the way, but I always had that passion and I knew that. But there's so many people and so many friends I know that now doing like the absolute dream job that was never their dream job when they were like 14, 15.
Or even it's just about making someone think, do you know what? I can do what I want to do.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
I've been forced kind of down this path. I don't really want to do it.
Yeah, like where did I go the other day? I went to this, I was speaking at some event the other day, and one of the questions for the get to know you thing was, what is your dream job? And I was like, that is such a stupid question, because like, you should be doing your dream job. In my eyes, it's like,
to you, like,
do your dream job.
I am doing it.
Yeah, I was like, and I was like, well, I'm farming. They're like, yeah, but what would you do if you could do anything? I was like,
exactly
I'm doing
this.
It. Yeah,
exactly
like,
this.
This is what I'm doing.
The whole reason why I'm probably talking in front of you now is because I'm doing what I love.
Yeah, and like, I honestly, nothing makes me more upset than when I see people that are like literally dread a Monday morning and like just want Friday afternoon to come. Like, it's
people get
so
stuck in a
upsetting.
pattern as well, and they think there's no way out of it. There's no alternatives.
Yeah, and if anything, like, I just want what I'm doing to show people that you can change what you're doing, and you can
there's no set
do
route.
things that make you happy in life, and it doesn't have to be like come into farming, learn how to farm.
Yeah,
this is how you do it.
You can try things on the side, try and like do a hobby, and then try and turn it into a career.
Exactly, it's just about embracing your dream, really, and it sounds so cheesy.
Yeah, but it's true. It's true. Yeah.
I'm all for the cheese.
Yeah, and if you
like
inspire other people to do that, then more power to you.
Oh, thanks.
So thanks for joining us, Hannah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.